Welcome to the Sharpe Way Show. So happy to have you with me this evening, a little bit past 7 p.m. on the East Coast. And I have been thinking about what I should do this week because this week I am heading off to Freedom Fest. So I will be in Vegas for the next 4 days or so. So this is going to be kind of, oh, my camera's off here. This is going to kind of be basically one of my last show for this week. So I thought, how could I do this? Well, what should I be talking about this week? Well, I've decided that I'm doing two things today in this one show. We're doing a double header show today. I'm going to be talking about third parties. Why? Because it seems like everyone's talking about third parties. Seems like all of a sudden MTG wants to be me. All of a sudden Tucker Carlson wants to be me. Maybe Matt Massey wants to be me. All good. They all want to be me. I'm not mad. I'm happy they all want to be me. I am the coolest guy around. So what are you going to do? So what is it? Imitation is the highest form of flattery. I am indeed flattered. So if they're trying to flatter me, it's working. I will start chatting about those people who are the haters. Oh, there are some haters, people who do not like the idea of independent parties, and I will show them for who they actually are. We'll cover that today. And then at the end, after probably about an hour or so, I will open it up to an AMA. So if you want an AMA, do me a favor, put in your question, AMA, colon, not that kind of colon. I mean, you do you, but the other kind of colon, do that. And then put your question. And once I'm done with this piece, about an hour later today, around 8 p.m. Eastern, give or take, I will start to do the AMA in that area. So hopefully that'll be interesting for you. We'll see how it goes. And we are going to get started because I think the most interesting piece here is how many people have all of a sudden decided. The issue is people now want this. I know they do. Why? Because people are talking about how bad it is. So when the haters start saying how bad it is, that's because it's real. That's why they would say, otherwise they would ignore it, right? And we all probably know that there are more independents now than there've ever been. People are hating the two-party system like they always have. Oh my God, yes. So let me start, if I might. I will do a left, a right, and I guess, kind of middle, not really, kind of a longer right, and then two left-ish ones. Because media, too much media is, too many pieces of media are left-leaning on YouTube. So I'll do a right one, a left one, and then a kind of left one, which should match up because the right one's longest. So I'm popping it in right now. This is the one and only Mark Kaye. Mark Kaye has been cracking jokes about third-party people for a very long time. So he does not like them at all, and he's going to explain why.
Brand new political party. It's not going to be Republican. It's not going to be Democrat. It's going to be something else. And to that, all I have to say is, sorry.
Of course he has to say that.
That hurt my throat.
What else would he say besides that? He has to, right? He has to laugh at it. Remember, two things you're going to see often. Dismissing is very important. And of course, distraction. He will do both. Right? You'll see dismissing and distraction. He just laughs at it. Of course he does, right? So it's all the concept is every third party is a joke. It always is. Great. What happens when people are suffering? Guys like Mark Kaye and others like him. There are many like him, right? They're all like Rush Limbaugh wannabe types. They're all that way. Tons of them. They never have an answer for anything except other guy bad. And that's all he'll have because they always have that.
Tucker Carlson told somebody, look at here. Well, here we'll read along together. Tucker Carlson is building a new political party after ditching the Republicans. He's moving on after his breakup with the GOP. The former cable news star on Wednesday said he is working to help build a new third party. Carlson said it's
so Carlson says he's going to help build a new third party. He didn't say he's going to build on his own. He didn't say that. But of course, he will make you assume that it's going to be a Tucker Carlson party. Never said that. That's the thought process, right? That's the way they say it, right? Here we go. Mike jumps right on board because Mike's with Kaye. Of course he is. Tucker Carlson party is a joke. They're always a joke. So was Lincoln until he was fucking president. He was a joke too, wasn't he? He was third party. Republicans, and this Mike and this guy are both Republicans. And they don't recognize their party was a third party. Their party was a joke. And all of a sudden now they're in charge. Oh, you didn't think of that shit, did you? Of course not. But their party was the third party. It was the Whigs and the Democrats. Oh, they forgot that part. Same thing, right? Same thing. They both say the same stuff, right? They have to laugh, of course. No one said Tucker is a Tucker Carlson party. He said he will help build a third party, is what he actually said. But this is how they act. They got to push the envelope to make it seem silly. Because here's the problem. If you actually get it and you actually go, they're done. They're finished.
Imperative, because the Republicans and Democrats are too busy worrying about foreign affairs while the lives of average Americans crumble.
True. Please show me the lie in that. True. So what's his answer? They all laughed in the face of Trump. The Democrats laughed. In fact, not just that, the neocons laughed in the face of Trump. They all laughed. Trump could never do it. Trump became president, took over the party.
I'm going to help build a third party, he told the Columbia Journalism Review. There should be a good faith effort to figure out what benefits the country. He continued.
So he says there should be a good, here's a guy who's saying, I'm unhappy with what's happening. Okay, here's what's great. Last time they gave us Harris and Trump. That's who they gave us. Harris and Trump. Trump, who'd run twice before, and Harris, who was a joke. And what is their answer? Let's just keep doing that. Tucker finally goes, we probably shouldn't do that. Let's find another answer. And their answer is laugh at him. Because why? He's right.
I mean, if you make $60,000 a year, you're degraded. Your life expectancy has gone down, and the promise of your children's lives is likely gone. No one seems to care. It's not even a factor. What about how
you just laughed at it? No one seems to care. You just laughed at it. Everything he just said is true. And you laughed at it. Didn't you? You just laughed at it because he's right. You have to laugh at it because you have no answers. Your answer is, the communists, Democrats are bad. That's your fucking answer. And you think that he's wrong. No, you can laugh all day. Here's the issue, what you've realized. All these pundits, him and others, they don't care about you. That's the issue. Now, Tucker may not all either. I don't know if he does. Who knows? But he's talking the right game. You know who else talked the right game? Mamdani, the guy who's mayor of New York. He talked. They laughed at him too, didn't they? Yeah.
Hamas. I officially don't care about Hamas. The U.S. government should have as its first priority the welfare of its own people.
Now, literally, what he just said is they should have the welfare of its own people. He's laughing at that. And watch his dismiss. Watch how he distracts. Watch
first priority, the welfare of its own people. Last time I checked, Hamas was looking to kill Americans, so I think that the two are kind of related. I mean,
they're not related, that's distraction. Total, utter horseshit. You know how many people, not including Israeli citizens, how many Americans, dual citizens, not counting them, and not counting October 7th, just take that one blip out. You know how many Americans Hamas has killed in the past 15 years? I made them 15 years. That's a long time. Zero. Fucking zero. Not one. Meanwhile, 22 veterans put a shotgun in their mouth every goddamn day. And he laughs at that. This is the guy who cares about the military? Zero. Not one. Now, did they kill Americans on October 7th? Yes, but they were all Israeli citizens. They were dual citizens. So about 40 or so. Dual citizens were killed on October 7th. Take away that. Zero. Well, Hamas says things. The same shit they say with Iran. Iran, it says debt to America. Great. You know what I'm going to say? And I used it before. Some of you know this. I am the true king of Spain. It's true. It's me. You didn't know that? It's me. I am the true king of Spain. I am going to take all my loyal Spanish subjects who believe that I'm the true king of Spain. We're going to march on Madrid, and we're going to take out the government of Spain, and I'm going to install myself as the new king of Spain. Should Spain drone strike me now? I've just said I'm going to overthrow the government, haven't I? I've just announced I'm the new king of Spain. Haven't I just announced that? I've said it publicly. More than once, by the way. I've done this dumb story more than once. So I have multiple times announced that I'm going to take over Spain. I've multiple times announced that the current governor of Spain is illegitimate. I'm the true king. Should they drone strike me now? Should they kill me now? Of course not. I am no threat to Spain at all. I am exactly the threat to Spain as Hamas is to us. Exactly the same threat. This is him dodging the point that his party has no answers for Americans who are suffering. So he dismisses it. Well, Hamas wants to kill us. So what? Has Hamas put, I don't know, Dexter Taylor in jail? No. Does Hamas stop me from paying my rent? No. Does Hamas help me pay my rent? No. Can Hamas help my daughters find boyfriends? No. Why do I care about Hamas? Because he wants to yell Dems bad. That's the reason. That's why Mamdani's here. And to think guys like him, you think guys like him hate Mamdani being in charge? They love it. They love Mamdani being in charge. You think they hate the fact that Hamas yells that stuff? They love it. It just allows them to yell this stuff and to ignore the actual problems of the nation. And they do it well all the time. They do it consistently. They ignore the problems because they have no answers. All of them do it. They're all the same guy.
Dead. Doesn't matter how much money you're making or what political party you mention or you're a part of, but I digress.
Yeah, you do digress because it's garbage. That's called distraction. Doesn't matter how much money you make. Yes, it does. If you're not an Israeli citizen in Israel on October 7th, Hamas has nothing to do with you.
That announcement comes after Carlson said on June 22nd he was done voting for Republicans. How could I or any American voter support a political party that's not loyal to the United States?
Hold on. Mike says that argument is dismissed. Yes, his is, and so is mine. It no reflect your argument. You know, calling yourself whatever isn't the same as, yes, it is. It's exactly, the outcome is exactly the same, Mike. The outcome is literally the same. The outcome is literally the same. No Americans are killed. No Spaniards are killed. Except instead, in our place, we send billions of dollars overseas and don't help Americans. Spaniards, I don't know what the hell they're doing, but they're not spending money on me. There is no difference, literally none. That is a story you're making up. It's not accurate, just like his story is making up.
States that puts the interests of a foreign country above those of its own citizens. Now, Marjorie Taylor Greene, who also...
Yeah, Mike's saying it. Yeah, they did. Yeah, October 7th. They were also Israeli citizens. Oh, you forget to put that up, though. He forgets that part.
So famously has left the Republican Party and also the country, although I think she's back now.
See, you know it's a distraction? She left Republican and the country, trying to pretend like she's a traitor now because she left the country. So you go on vacation, you're a traitor. Again, this is distraction. This is dismissiveness. He's not talking about any arguments here. Kaye's discussing no arguments. He's not saying she's wrong. She's clearly bad because she doesn't, she doesn't hate Hamas or whatever, or because she doesn't support it. There's no argument here.
She went down to, like, what was it, Costa Rica for a while, and she did some pull-ups on the beach, and she was drinking.
This is his self-report, and they will always do that. He's mad because she's physically stronger than him. She could probably outbench him. That makes him angry. So he tries to now do something else. He tries to insult her by calling her masculine. He's just mad because she can outbench him.
Margaritas, and she got some collagen in her face or stem cells.
See what? Distraction. Who cares? If she puts collagen in her face, awesome. I don't care if she does or not. You do you. Irrelevant. But would he say that about all the Fox News people who do it? No. Did he say it before when she was on a Trump train? No. He says it now because he must dismiss her. Why must he dismiss her? Because he has no argument. Note, he has no argument.
I don't know what she was doing, but she was on Piers Morgan, and she echoed Tucker Carlson's desire to start or to work with somebody who's going to design a third party to rival Democrats and Republicans.
I think there's a group of us that if we decide to align, we could launch a true America-focused party that doesn't fall into the traps of Democrats and Republicans, but could align some serious players from the right and the left and move forward. But Piers, I'm also very realistic because I was in the system. I've served in Congress. I've run campaigns. I know what it takes. It's difficult to launch a third party. So the reality is this isn't something that gets...
Look, he's laughing. And she's saying what's real. She's saying it's difficult. And that's what she says.
It's off the ground in just a couple of campaign cycles. This is a movement that has to be developed and would take time to develop.
So here is the insane thing, the crazy thing that we have to laugh and mock. MTG and Tucker Carlson. Tucker Carlson recognizing that the MAGA movement has been lost in the Republican Party. And that's true, right? Because it's not America first anymore. It's now, I guess, foreign policy first or tariff first, whatever the hell it is, right? It's that, whatever that is what it is, right? Tucker has figured this out, and so has MTG. Tucker says, I will try to help, number one. She says it's going to take multiple cycles a year, and he's laughing. Where's the lie there? It would take many cycles, many years. A cycle is at least 2 years. So she's saying many cycles. If you count presidential cycles, it's 4 years. So maybe 8 years, 10 years, whatever. She's saying it will take time. And Tucker's saying, I got some cash. And he's laughing. Why is he laughing? He has no argument.
I'm not sure where that is right now, but I am in talks with people. And there are serious conversations happening.
Of course there
looking at what are the mechanics.
And you have to worry because there are people who are going to jump in and blatantly lie to you. I know, I've been doing this for years. And they're going to tell you how they're going to help you and tell you how they're going to support you. And they're not. They're just Democratic or Republican chills who care about the establishment, and they will take your money and screw you. Sadly, she's probably talking to many of them because they do it all the time. Why do you think it's so hard to start third parties? Because we're all just dumb? No, because the establishment doesn't want it. So they send out shills like him and others to laugh and say it's stupid so no one can run. I'm going to show you the left. The left doesn't do it. It's just the right. The left does exactly the same thing. And and guys like him either don't care, I don't think he cares, or they're getting paid. I don't think he's being paid. My gut is he doesn't care. And he can make money from it, so he does it. And it's the way of doing it. Yelling other guy bad. I've shown you some of these lefties who their entire show is just taking a dump on Trump. They just make stuff up. He's going to die tomorrow, whatever. Guys like Kaye do the opposite, right? They just yell, Dems are bad all day long. They're both the opposites, right? But you make money. Look, Kaye's got a much bigger show than I have. Makes more money than I do. More successful than I am. Why? He just yells Dems bad all day. And the other guy, that Coachella guy showed you, way bigger than Kaye. What does Kaye do? Orange man bad all day. That's all they do. There's no arguments. It's insult. When I show you a Kyle Kalinske on the left, just insults Trump people all day. That's all he does. Just it's hours of insults. Guy's got 2 million followers. That's his job. So it does work. I'm not saying Kaye is wrong in his business model. Well done business model. He's just wrong in it. He doesn't care.
Mechanics of that and the reality of it. But up here, I'll also say this is it's going to take the American people to get involved. And the American people are the ones that really push campaigns. And
there is the piece that is exactly true. The American people have to push the campaign. True. So guys like him and others will make sure that you don't. They will make sure you think there is no chance. They will make sure you assume you just got to pick one or the other. It's life or death. It's always life or death. And we can't let the Dems win on his side. Other ones, you can't let Trump win, whatever. None of these matter. Here's what you have to remember. And most of you know this because you're watching this show, so you get it. It doesn't matter. And they will tell you it does. Both sides will scream how it matters so much. How it matters so much. But as long as you're just going back and forth, it doesn't. It doesn't. I would ask you, what huge thing have we solved in the past 40 years? And in the past 40 years, we have gone back and forth. Republicans, Democrats, Republicans been in charge, Democrats been in charge. And all you'll find is that people who prefer Republicans will have some excuse for Democrats. It would have happened except the Dems. Or the Democrats go, would have happened except the Republicans. They always have some excuse. Always do. It's the filibuster or it's the this. There's always an excuse. Then change the system if you care. They can change the system if they want to. They don't. They don't. If the system's so bad that we can't change anything, if that's true, it is, then change the system. They won't. What Kaye won't talk to you about at all is how bad the system is. He won't say it. He'll just say, it doesn't work. But he won't say how to change it.
So if the American people truly want to give a strong challenge to the failed two-party system of America, then they're going to have to step up because it's not going to be a couple of players like Tucker and I.
So she's admitting it can't just be her and I. Where is the lie in this? Where is the thing that's wrong or bad? It's absolutely true. That's how it works. That's the issue.
Few others that can roll up our sleeves and get this done. It's going to take a serious effort from everyone.
Okay. Yep. Marjorie Taylor Greene saying, we're ready for a third party. I'm in talk with some big players from the Democrat Party and the Republicans, and we're going to do what we can, but it's going to take all of us. It's going to take a whole bunch of Americans basically throwing away their vote and trying to figure out.
See, bingo, there's dismissive. Again, throwing away their vote. So wasn't throwing away your vote in 2020? Wasn't throwing away your vote in 2024? Wasn't throwing away your vote in 2022? I live in New York State. Something like, what was it, 2-3 million people voted for Republican in New York State? They didn't get shit. Threw their vote away, right? What if they had instead? I want you to think about something, all you people who say throwing the vote away. What if in New York State, instead of everyone voting for Lee Zeldin, all those people who did, 2 million, 3 million people who did it, and getting nothing, what if they voted for me instead? What would they have gotten? I still would have lost, right? Hochul still would have won. And that's their argument. Well, you're splitting your vote, but you got to have a chance to get jailed. He's not going to win. Neither is Blakeman. It's not going to happen. Republicans not going to win New York State. That's not going to happen. So what if they instead voted for me? We still lose. True. You still get her. But you know what you do get? Hope for a third party. I don't know. That's true. You're making it up. I'm not making that up. The guy's called RFK Jr. RFK Jr. was running independent. Then what happened? Well, they saw he was going to probably pull 4 or 5% at the end. Maybe 5%, maybe more. They didn't know. They were worried because he was polling well enough that he might have pulled 5%. And if he would have pulled 5%, all of a sudden that's third party. All of a sudden, Trump might have still won the election. I'm not saying he wouldn't have. I'm not saying RFK Jr. would have changed the election. Maybe. We don't know. Trump still would have won. But for the sake of argument, he still wins. But he gets 5%. Well, Trump doesn't get a mandate, does he? He doesn't win all 7 swing states. He might have won 3 or 4 of them, whatever, who knows? But he doesn't win all of them. Not just that he doesn't beat Kamala Harris in the popular vote without that. If he doesn't get that, he doesn't have a mandate. The mandate came from RFK coming aboard. Not just that, change happened. You guys may like or hate RFK Jr.'s changes. I don't care how you feel about that. The point is he wanted something done, and it got done. Why? Because independent parties. Guys like Kaye don't want that. Establishment guys don't want that. They want to keep it exactly the same. No change. Left, right. They feed upon the back and forth. I bring this up a million freaking times. There was an old Star Trek episode. If you guys remember the old Star Trek from the 60s, the original series, where for those of you remember this one, where all of a sudden there's an alien that sets up the Enterprise to where there's 24 Federation troops and 24 Klingon troops stuck on the Enterprise, and they have to fight forever. And when they get killed, they get reborn. They just keep fighting, and they're going to fight forever. It sets it up. Why? This entity lives and feeds off of the anger that they create, the hate and anger. It feeds off it. It made a farm for itself. That's our system. That's our system. Guys like Kaye and guys like him, or that other guy, Coachella, that guy from the left, Kyle Kalinske, they are that. They are the parasites that feed off of our hate and anger. And it works. I wish it didn't. It works. King says, Day of the Dove. Thank you. That's the one. If you guys have a chance, watch it. That is literally our system right now. That's our system right now. They literally just feed off of this. And why would it change it? I get it. It works. Kyle Kalinske, he buys houses off of it. I get it. It totally works. It's just terrible.
If a third party is viable over several election cycles. So this is not something that's going to be an instant fix. I wonder if one of the people she's talking to is John Morgan, because you may remember last week, John Morgan of Morgan and Morgan for the People, that guy, the lawyer, former lawyer. I don't think he has a law license anymore, but that's a story for another.
Again, dismissive. Everything he does is just dismisses them. No argument. No, he's made no argument against it at all. Where's his argument? Where's his argument saying it's wrong, won't work? Where's the argument? There is none. There never was one. There was never going to be one. It was just, it's dumb. And now Morgan & Morgan is the largest personal injury firm in the country. I'm not making that up. It's the largest in the country. And he's dismissing this guy. Now, I'm not saying I like personal injury attorneys. Who cares? But this guy is the largest in the nation. This guy, he's the largest in the nation. What are you talking about? D says, Mark is talking about John Morgan. It's fake news. He has a law license. Yes. His Morgan & Morgan is the largest personal injury firm in the nation.
Other day, John Morgan also announced that he is leaving the Democrat Party because he's one of the biggest Democrat donors there is. He and Nancy Pelosi are like this. In fact,
see, that's an attack. Him and Nancy Pelosi are like that. So he has, again, dismissive. Where's your argument, Mark? There is none. I must attack, insult, and you could imagine his chat right now, eating this up, insulting. He keeps insulting, so his chat now becomes fervent. Of course.
When they decided to stab Joe Biden in the back and replace him with Kamala Harris, Nancy Pelosi's first call was to John Morgan, according to Jake Tapper's book.
And that means what? How is that relevant to this? It is not. It's just dismissive.
Announced he's starting a third party. He even already has a name picked out.
Oh, I like that.
I have an announcement to make today, a pretty exciting one. I ask all of you to come up with a name for a new third party.
Okay.
A party that sits in the middle, that's willing to compromise.
That's boring and never going to work. You have to have something behind it. But I get it. So good for him.
That wants to get things done. We
Like
had
that.
over 35,000 people submit names. And
Nice.
some were very, very good. And some were very, very crazy.
Mm-hmm.
But in the end, we chose one because we could only choose one.
Mm-hmm.
The name of this party will be called The Common Ground.
Look at that.
And
the
we
common ground.
will be known as Grounders.
Rounders.
Okay, so John Morgan is naming his third party after a coffee shop, The Common Ground. I'm pretty
Dismissive.
sure that's a coffee shop somewhere in like Denver.
Dismissive, no argument.
The Common Ground is going to be the third party that John Morgan is starting, and the members of that party are going to be called Grounders, not to be confused with Grinders, which are people on a
which are people who are Republicans, because whenever the Republican National Committee goes to any city, the Grinder app in that city explodes by about 200%. I wish I was joking. So make that joke, Republican. Make that joke. Go ahead.
gay dating app. I think Grinder is
Like you think. Stop lying. He thinks. He knows. Half his friends are on it. And I'm not mad about this. You know I'm libertarian. You use whatever holes you want to use as long as those holes are adult and consenting. You do you. I'm not mad at it. The difference is half his friends are pretending they use a certain hole and they like using other holes. So stop being hypocrites. You know exactly what Grindr is. You're probably on it. I know half your friends are, because that's how it works. Just do you. I'm not mad. Use whatever hole you want to use, my friend. As long as it's consenting and adult. Enjoy. I'm not mad. All right. Rick Pod, thank you for the membership. Can we get libertarians to a big tent party with constitutionalists and civil libertarian moderates? No, I wish we could. Libertarians are far more concerned, as always, with virtue signaling. If we can ever get libertarians to stop virtue signaling, yes, but no, they would much rather virtue signal than be effective in any way, shape, or form. I wish I was wrong, but they're not. Phil, thank you for the membership gift. I appreciate it. Adirondack, again, thank you for the membership. I appreciate it. I do appreciate that. Yes. All right. Shelley says, absolutely don't want free thinkers. It might break out with liberty and justice for all. We can't have that. They don't want that, especially in New York. What would become of the likes of Hochul and others? True. You are right. Yes. Ryan says, hello, everyone. Yes, Duopoly's very, very scared of independent parties. True. You can see it, right? Because again, not one argument. And again, I'm beating him up now because he's longer, but I'm going to do two Democrats too. And it's exactly the same thing. It's just, instead of going, I don't know, communism, they go orange man bad, but they're exactly the same. And the funny thing is they think they're the opposite, but they're not. They're exactly the same. They're literally the same, just their bizarro world. That's about it. So yeah, let me keep going here.
the gay dating app. Grounders are the members of,
what it is.
John Morgan's
Stop.
party. Swipe right. No, swipe left. No, actually swipe in the middle, because we're the common ground for the people. So we've now got three factions at play. You've got Tucker Carlson, who
Dismissive, not an argument.
announcing that he's creating a new third political party. You've got Marjorie Taylor Greene, who said she's already in talks with some pretty heavy players.
Okay, but those are not factions. Those are the same faction. So again, completely just saying stuff
About creating a third party. And you've got John Morgan for the people, creating a party that he's already got a name for.
Now, Marjorie Taylor Greene did not say that she wouldn't join Morgan and Morgan's party. Didn't say that, so we don't know. He's just said we got three factions. Why? He's dismissing it again. See, they're all over the place. They're not together like us Republicans. He's just dismissing them. This entire thing is just, let me dismiss them so that you will feel stupid if you support them. He doesn't have an argument for why you shouldn't. He just wants you to feel dumb if you support it, so that when someone comes and says, hey, why don't you support his party? No, I heard Mark Kaye. He said blah, blah, blah. And he's unhappy with the chain grounders. His people are called Patriots. Mine are called Libertarians. I'm kind of cooler than you, Mark. Just saying.
Incidentally, if you're wondering why he got 35,000 people to choose the name or to submit names, it's because there was a cash incentive. The people weren't just doing it for fun.
Yeah, see, again, dismissive. The guy's a gazillionaire. Morgan, the guy's a gazillionaire. One more time. He has the largest personal injury firm in the country. And he wanted to get people to put it, so he gave them a cash incentive. How is that bad? Mark, do you give cash incentives sometimes? Do you do things for free? No, you do stuff for money too, don't you? Yes, but when he does it, it's bad for some reason. He didn't do it for fun. For fun? Who cares what I did it? He's got cash. He wanted it. He got it done. Why are you dismissing it? Because again, no argument. Just dismissing it. He's nitpicking things and dismissing. This is why guys like him can't go in the debate world. They can only do this. If they go to debate, he gets slaughtered. He can't do it because he's just cracking jokes. That's all he's doing.
Wanted to win like 10 grand or something like that. But it's going to be called the Common Ground and the Ground. So that's it. There you go. Now, it always cracks me up when people talk about starting a third party, because there's already a third party, and all my libertarian friends and all the libertarians who watch our show, and there's a bunch of them, they always get very annoyed when
no, there aren't. There are pissed off Republicans who call themselves libertarians. Libertarians don't watch our show.
People talk about the third party because they believe they're already there. They are that third party. In fact, there's like dozens of parties. There's the Republican Party, the Democrat Party, there's the Libertarian.
Not wrong. He's not wrong. There's tons. He's right. Constitution, all of them. And they can get in the ballot how? Oh, they fucking can't. Because your Republican Party, which cares so much and is so good, sues them off the ballot. Not just that, the Republican Party sues its own people off the ballot. Am I making this up? No. So if you don't fall in line with the leadership, they sue you off the ballot. Oh, I know. So this is the idea where there's tons of parties. They're all equal. No, they're not. They're not, because they can't get on the ballot. There's the issue. You need millions upon millions of dollars to get on the ballot. You can't do that. But he won't say that, will he?
Party. There's the Green Party. There's the Communist Party. I mean, they've got communists. I mean, it's very difficult to differentiate between the communists and the Democrats these days, but it is a separate party. There's parties you've never even heard of. There's like the American Allegiance for Whatever Party. There's like a Wiccan party. There's furry parties, all kinds of parties. So saying we're going to start a third party is kind of a misnomer, because if you were looking.
No, what they mean, and you know this issue, he's being disingenuous. He knows what they mean. They mean a real third party that can get ballot access in 50 states. That's what he obviously means. Everyone who's in this world knows it to be true. So does Mark. He knows that too. But he knows most of his audience has no idea. Most people don't know how hard it is to get on the ballot. I know. They don't know how hard it is. They don't know the systems they make and how they crush people who try. I know. He does know that, though. But he won't tell his audience that. He'll just go, see, clearly they're stupid. Clearly they're bad, because they can't navigate a system that is made to kick them off.
If you're basing it on membership, then yes, the third party already exists, and it would be the Libertarian Party.
Which is not now access.
Really, if we've got Tucker Carlson and Marjorie Taylor Greene and John Morgan all creating a third party, that would really be like the third, fourth, and fifth parties. We're gonna have parties all over. We're gonna have to be party hopping before too long. It's gonna be like the inaugural ball. There's not just one inaugural ball. There's like one for every. There's like 50. It's pretty insane. And that's where we're headed. I don't know if any of these are going to be successful. There have been bigger names than Tucker Carlson and Marjorie Taylor Greene and John Morgan who've tried to.
Yeah. Hold on. Now he's going to, again, telling himself. There's been bigger people who've tried. Why couldn't they? Because the system's set to stop them. Yes, absolutely.
Create third parties in the past. Donald Trump, for example, when he lost in 2020, there were
lost. He didn't lose that. Yeah.
Rumors and talks that he was interested in creating a third party. Elon Musk has at many times talked about creating a third political.
And then he realized how hard it was, because he saw how bad the system was. Yes, you have to change the system. That's the whole point. Who's talking about that? No one is.
party. Other people in the media and in politics have tried and failed to create a third party because Marjorie Taylor Greene is right. Donald Trump realized that the better thing, the easier thing, is not to create a third party, but to create a movement inside of a party.
Now, is it easier? Yes. Not wrong. Not wrong. But look at all the people who were on Trump's team. The Tucker Carlsons, the MTGs, the Thomas Massey's at the time when he first started coming aboard. All those rebels, where are they now? They're all gone. Look at all the people who are now around Trump right now. Right now. Think about it. Rubio, who called him a crook and horrible and nasty. Remember that? Yeah, I remember that. Lindsey Graham, who called him every name in the book. His vice president, Vance, called him Hitler. Remember that? All of that. So did Trump actually make it happen? No, he's been corrupted too. The people who were supporting him are leaving. Haven't you seen that? The people who thought he was horrible and tried to stop him and laughed at him in 2016, the same thing we're doing now to guys like Mamdani, they've learned nothing. Those same guys now who hated Trump back then, they're all with him. Why? Because MAGA's gone. That's why. MAGA's gone. Just like Tea Party. Gone. Yeah, remember Tea Party? Gone. Remember the Freedom Caucus? Remember that? Gone. Gone. This is easy to do, and then they just absorb it. So Mitt Romney and George W. Bush, we thought, well, they're finished because Trump took over. No, Trump got in. Don't get me wrong. Very effective. Got in. And now you might as well have Mitt Romney again. In New York State, I got Mitt Romney Jr. running in New York State. I literally have Mitt Romney Jr. running in New York State. Same thing. What's the difference? Gone. So you can talk all your trash, Mark, but you can see it. The people who were behind him, who were pushing actual change when he said he was anti-war and anti-this and America first and all that stuff, they're all gone. The coalition he put together, they're all gone. The neocons have won yet again. That movement you're talking about, gone.
And slowly but surely take over an existing party. Because look at this, the GOP.
Take over an existing party and then get taken over by that party, which is what we see right now. Meanwhile, again, they're going to get their asses kicked in 2026 here. Except maybe Plattner's screwing up, so I think the Senate, the Republicans will keep the Senate. I don't think this, without Plattner, I don't see how the Republicans can lose the Senate. They'll keep the Senate, or at least equal, but I can't see them losing the Senate. I can't see that. But they'll still lose the House, and they'll still get their butt kicked, and they won't have they'll still be in trouble, and they won't care because Mark will blame he'll blame the communists or whatever. He'll blame them, whatever. He'll do what he always does.
They've got infrastructure. They've got registered voters. They've got money. They've been around. They've got name recognition. What Donald Trump did is he came into a GOP that was kind of milquetoast and moderate and
it was filled with Rubio, still here. Lindsey Graham, still here. It's filled with those guys. What are you talking about? They're still here. John Thune, still here. There's still freaking Mitch McConnell still here. I mean, maybe, I don't know. Still here. What are you talking about filled with these people? It's still filled with them. What's changed? All that Donald Trump has done is the people who were the rebels are gone now. So he came in and cleaned house for them. And you're saying that's a win? Trump came in after 12 years and has cleaned house of the rebels.
No backbone, had no spine, had no real heroes, had no real fight.
They had Reagan, I thought, right? Wasn't George W. Bush a hero for them?
In it. And he said, look, the majority of conservatives are good, wholesome, patriotic American people that want to protect this country and put America first. And he leaned into it with the MAGA movement inside the Republic.
He's not wrong there. It's absolutely true. Dominic says the two-party uniparty system is a cancer to American society. Yes. Because of both parties blaming the other to feed the machine and the cycle continues. True. Yes. Absolutely. Rick Bott, Republicans, Democrats are the real spoilers in causing food poisoning. True. Kaye says, Shelley, that's a constitutionalist party. I believe there is a constitutional party. There is. That they do exist. Yep. It is. It's just small. So yes, but it is there. Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely true. All right. So I'll grab some more of these if I can. Phil, thank you for the membership. Does the Morgan & Morgan effort slip and fall? Is Mark chasing the wambulance on this? Mr. Clinton is looking to sweep away the competition. Jokes and jokes and more jokes. You got the jokes tonight, brother. You got the jokes tonight. I like it. I like it. You got the jokes.
Republican Party, and now the Republican Party is MAGA. So what's happening? All of these other people don't like it.
It's not MAGA. MAGA's gone. So you tell it. Hold on. You're telling me Lindsey Graham is MAGA now? Rubio is MAGA? That's MAGA? Kushner is MAGA?
Who don't like it are leaving and trying to start their own parties. What they should do is they should stay in the Republican Party, start a new faction, and try to...
Because if he do that, then they can get taken over by the neocons in 10 years, which is the goal, and we can change nothing.
To do exactly what Donald Trump did. That's going to be a tough call. But if you look at the Democrat Party, that's exactly what's happening. The communist...
Okay, Nosy says they don't want change. The game they have going is playing them very well. True. It's playing them very well. It's true. That's the point. Yes, that's absolutely true. Yes. So look, the DSA. Yes, the DSA is following Trump's way. That's true. They saw what Trump did. They're doing. Yes, and they're making gains. True. If they organize well, they may change the Democratic Party. Possible. What do I think? It'll be co-opted too. Remember, we did this before. Remember the squad? Do you guys remember that? That was AOC and all them people going to come in and change the Democratic Party. We're going to get Medicare for all. Remember that story they told us? AOC was going to make sure that the whole squad. Where's the squad now? Only one left, AOC. The one who sold to Nancy Pelosi. Yeah, what happened to the squad? Gone. Gone. You think DSA is going to be any different? He will tell you that to make fear of communism. He'll say that, but no. 5 years from now, 10 years from now, they'll all be neocons again or neoliberals, whatever. It's what always happens. It's what always happens. The only way there's actual change is his party, the Republican Party of 1860, the third party that literally ended slavery. Yes, literally ended our original sin. Was the Republican Party a third party? Never happens. I just showed you how it did happen. Yes.
Communists, or democratic socialists, as they like to call them, the communists are slowly but surely taking over.
It's not slowly but surely. Stop. Stop. So you think he's going to say this with no repercussion whatsoever? He will be utterly wrong. But it doesn't matter. Guys like him are always wrong. Neocons are always wrong. Every time. Neocons are always wrong. He's a neocon. So he's wrong always. Doesn't matter. Because in the end, he'll just blame Democrats and say, well, see, it's because. He'll do a see, it's because. His people want to hear this. They don't want Republicans to ever be wrong, so they'll believe him, whatever he says. And they'll nod their head, which is sure it would have been right. He's always wrong. Neocons are always wrong in everything they say, in everything they do. They're always wrong. And doesn't matter. They will still keep getting money. They'll still keep getting everything. The grift will still keep going. It doesn't matter. And he'll be wrong, whatever, maybe a year from now, whenever the time comes. He will be wrong a couple years from now. He'll be wrong. And once he's wrong, no one will remember this. He knows that. No one will remember. No one will care. He'll still keep grifting. He'll keep going.
Tried and failed to bring the Communist Party to some kind of national prominence or to bring communist candidates into a...
That's not a thing. The Communist Party has not been powerful in New York, in the country in decades. Now, the socialists tried some. That's true. 2020, they ran, was it Howie Hawkins ran as a socialist in 2020? They made an attempt. Didn't work.
New system where they can get a stronghold in government. So what do? They go, great. We're just going to pretend we're Democrats. We're going to run as Democrats. We're going to get Democrats to vote for us, but we're going to...
They didn't pretend to be Democrats. They became Democrats. Are you telling me MAGA people will pretend Republicans? Oh, is that what you're telling me? So Brona says, Patriot sounds gay, just saying. Yeah, but Libertarian sounds much cooler. I got you on that one. Phil says, Patriot does sound gay. Yep. Chris says, forward party is still out there. It is, but it's just not doing its thing. So, yeah, it's not there yet. So we're working on it. Keep going.
Rule as communists. And that's basically, I mean, I'm not saying Tucker Carlson should be a communist. I'm just saying if you...
I'm not saying Tucker Carlson should be a communist. That's how he wraps it up. I'm not saying he should be a communist. This is a fucking embarrassment. But people eat this up. This is what sells. He's not wrong in what in making cash. They'll eat this up. This video will do fine. People will clap and go, yeah, you're all bad. He did not give one argument. He's utterly wrong. It's not right. If you actually care about people, he doesn't. But if you actually care about people, you'd be like, damn, I should probably find an answer to all the problems that people around me are having. He doesn't care about that. But he would do that. He doesn't. He just says, don't forget, Democrats bad. Because laugh at them. Don't forget, anyone who leaves my Republican, establishment, they're bad guys. Because he literally is George W. Bush. You are with us or against us. So he probably was loving MTG 2 years ago. I don't know that, but yes, he was. I'm sure he was. He's probably loving Tucker Carlson 2 years ago, right? Probably loved Candace Owens 3 years ago. Probably loved him. Oh, she's one of the good ones. I'm sure he was that guy. Now that they've left the fold, evil. How dare you not follow the neocon rules? All evil now. And look, he's one of thousands of guys doing the exact same shit every day. They're all Timu, Rush Limbaugh. They all are. And I get it. It's a good business model. It just doesn't help the country at all. It's making things worse. As things collapse and as people fall into violence and despair, guys like him on the left and the right, it's their fault. Because they stifle the idea of actually having an answer for something, right? He will probably quote Thomas Jefferson all day long. Probably quote, well, wasn't it Jefferson who said, if you make peaceful protest impossible, you make violent revolution inevitable? Third party is a peaceful protest. RFK Jr. is an example of that. So yes, I hope that makes sense, guys. I hope you guys at least enjoyed that piece. I'm gonna go to the left now because the left is probably just as bad, if not. So yes, let me keep going down here if I can. All righty. Let me grab here. Keys is one of what they're afraid of. They will lose their rift. That's what they're afraid of. That's what they're afraid of. And this guy is Tom Powell Jr. He's a lefty who is actually worse than most of these. I mean, he's terrible. So yeah, but let me grab him too. He's on the left side trying to explain why you can't have third parties.
Some little bit of background before we get into this comment. I was talking in a video about how if you're a Democrat and you vote third party, you are helping elect the Republican.
You hear that? So Mark Kaye just said the opposite. Mark Kaye said, "You're stupid, don't whatever, sport whatever thing he said." This guy, he's like, no. That's not how Mark Kaye's wrong. If you vote third party, you're helping the Republicans. Well, that's weird how that works. This guy he just decided that one. So yeah, Brawner says, I was a fan of the Tea Party until they got elected. They all ran on reining in the debt. First thing they did was raise debt. Correct. So they said, where's the Tea Party? Then they got absorbed by the neocons. What I just said. Correct.
That's just the way it is. And this person here says that I'm wrong.
Just the way it is, dummy.
You're wrong. It can't be both ways.
He didn't have an argument either. He just said, you're wrong.
Republicans say a third vote is like voting for Kamala, and Democrats say voting third party is like voting for Trump. They can't both. They are not both right. My apologies, but they are both right. So this is the reason why we say this. If you would, we won't even use the Democratic side. We'll use the MAGA side. If you would normally
the MAGA side
vote,
note what he said. He calls Republicans MAGA because he just wants to dismiss them. So everything I said about Mark Kaye goes directly with this guy too. They're the same guy. They look different. They're not. They're the same guy. There's no difference. One guy's gonna go, well, he just hates Trump and thinks Trump's evil. Same guy.
Right wing. You would normally vote for anybody that's in that MAGA camp, and you're like, you know what? I don't like this candidate, and I can't vote for the Democrat. So I'm going to vote third party. I'm going to vote for the Libertarian. I'm going to vote for the Green Party candidate. I'm going to write in somebody. I'm going to write in Jill Stein. Bernie Sanders, whoever.
Right.
Then you are not voting for the candidate that you would normally vote for.
True.
The same thing on the Democratic side.
Yes. So you're not following the exact same thing we've been following for 60 years, which has gotten us shit. True. And he's like, that's terrible. Why won't you do exactly the same thing? Why won't you just shut up and decay like the rest of us? Why won't you just be quiet and make me feel good about virtue signaling like the rest of us? Why won't you just do that? What's wrong with you? Yes. Mike says Tlaib and Pressy are still in Congress doing nothing. Omar, doing nothing. They're doing nothing. Yes, they exist. Great. So does Thomas Massey. They exist. Yeah. So did MTG. And nothing. Existing's nice. I exist. I'm not doing shit either, except making these guys look like idiots. But that's about all I'm doing.
You would normally vote for anybody that's liberal in a race, okay, but you don't like this liberal candidate, and you can't bring yourself to vote for this conservative candidate, so you're going to vote for third party. You're going to vote Libertarian. You're going to vote Green Party. Then you're taking a vote away from the Democratic candidate.
Now, he just said that. Taking away the vote. He honestly believes that your vote belongs to the Democrats because you don't like conservatives. He believes that. He's not just, he said it. You're taking the vote away. He believes that. He doesn't believe you get to vote for who you want. No. If you don't like conservatives, you have to vote Democrat. What if Democrat Party guy's bad? What if Republican Party guy's bad? They don't care. This guy and Mark Kaye do not care. All they care about is other guy can't get in. My team has to win. I don't care if there's a monster out there. Doesn't matter. Right? Doesn't matter. He's a monster. Doesn't matter. He's not the other guy. Keep doing it. Okay, will any of them help me out? No one's going to make your life better, as you still can't find a girlfriend or a boyfriend. You still can't buy a freaking car. You still can't pay your car insurance. They're not going to help you, but they're going to protect you from the other guy. Right? They're going to help you, save you from the communists or Hamas or whatever story they're telling you. That's what we're going to save you from. I got an idea. Stop saving me. Stop. You're saving me is killing me, right? So stop it. All you're saving is killing me. So stop. I didn't ask you to save me. So please stop. It's destroying me. How about instead, let me have a system to where I can have my voice heard when I want to, and I can pay my rent, and I can get a car and pay my car insurance. Do that. Stop saving me. No one asked you to. This guy wants to save me. No thanks, my friend. I don't need you saving.
Because at the end of the day, only one of two people are going to win the election, the Republican or the Democrat. People are already starting to type in the comment section, no, a third party can win. No, the fuck they can't.
Because you keep talking this stupid shit. You and your bizarro twin, Mark Kaye, keep talking this trash. You can win. It does happen. You can win. It does happen. If you change the system on a ballot, number one, but even if you don't. Remember something. Most people don't vote. If they just get up and vote, I stole it from so-and-so, doesn't work, does it?
They could. We would have already seen a third-party senator.
You mean like Bernie Sanders? Oh, you mean like that?
A third-party member of the House of Representatives.
You mean like Justin Amash?
A third-party president, something.
You mean like Ross Perot, who almost came in? You mean like that? Or you mean like Jesse Ventura in Minnesota? You mean like that?
But they get dick for results.
Yes, because idiots like you keep saying don't do it. So what? They get bad results. What's your results? What's our results? A larger wealth gap? Where now we're moving to violence? Where guys like Charlie Kirk get offed? That's what you want? You like that instead? That's where we are now, where our president has 3-4 chances that they try to off him already? That's what you want? You good with that? Don't vote third party. Let's start killing people instead. That's this guy. And Kaye, all of them.
It's gotten worse and worse and worse. I mean, think about it. Ross Perot got
Yes, it has. Okay. He's going to be. Breathe. Here we go.
19 or 20 million votes, and he couldn't win a single state.
And it had nothing to do with the system they changed right afterwards. He won't say that either. Neither him nor Kaye will bring up the system behind it. They won't. They just won't do it. No matter what they do, they won't do it.
So only the Republican or the Democrat are going to win. And if you would normally vote for the liberal,
so this is his answer.
Given just two choices.
His answer is only the Democrat or the Republican going to win. because he deems it so. No argument. No argument. Just he deems it so. So they're only going to win. Doesn't accept that they've changed the rules to ensure it's true, that you can't even get on the ballot. That's something you can't do. Doesn't bring that up at all. They're only going to win. So since it's going to happen, clearly all conservatives are evil, so you have to vote Democrat. That's what he's literally saying. Now, what if the Democrat's a horrible human being? Doesn't matter. What if the Democrat's not going to help you out? Doesn't matter. What if the Democrat's going to only make your life worse? Doesn't matter. They're not a conservative. So vote for them.
Choices. A liberal and a conservative.
Yep.
There wasn't a Green Party. There wasn't a Libertarian Party. There wasn't a right-in option. You only...
And that's the system that makes it.
You had two choices, and you would normally vote for the liberal of the two choices, and you don't, then you're helping the Republican, the conservative, because you're not voting for the only candidate that's going to have a chance to beat them.
See? And all that matters is beating the other. This is what destroys this nation. This right here is what is destroying our nation, which is it doesn't matter if your life gets better. It doesn't matter if anything gets better. It doesn't matter. All that matters is living your life in fear. Because Trump's so evil that he's going to, remember the lies the left told us? There's going to be no elections. Remember that horse shit? There's going to be no elections. Remember that? I thought there just was elections. What happened? I thought there was going to be none. No elections, all that. Remember all that stuff? Women are going to lose the right to choose. There's going to be forced abortion, whatever, the mandatory having baby. All the lies they told us. The left told us every lie known to man. Building camps. Remember the building camps thing? We're all going to camps. Remember that? Nothing. Assholes like him said that stuff. So you got to vote liberal. Okay, great. You vote liberal. What'd you get? Mom, Donnie, and I'm in New York. What's changing? My life any better? Wealth got better? I got buildings in New York City now. For those you don't know, as I said years ago, you cannot convert these buildings. It doesn't work. It's not easy to convert them at all. Buildings that are meant for commercial have different everything. And some of you know, some of you don't. You can't just convert them. Then you went, let's convert them. And now they're literally falling apart. I'm not making that up. There's buildings in New York right now that are preparing to collapse. They're evacuating blocks. I'm not kidding. That's happening right now. Because idiots like him said, there's only two choices. You just vote for the Democrats again. So they can learn to do nothing. How do you take your power back? This is Stockholm Syndrome shit. Our nation is stuck by, and this is the worst part. Look at Republicans do this all the time. This Republicans. Why do black people keep voting for Democrats? Why do you keep voting for Republicans? It's the same thing. They're scared of you because guys like him say that all conservatives are racist. They're not, but that's what he says. He convinces them of this, and people get scared. Oh, they're all racist, so I guess we're about Democrat. Well, Democrats are racist too, just the same percentage. What's the difference?
And the same thing goes the other way. If you would normally vote Republican, but you don't because you don't like this candidate, so you vote third party, then you're taking a vote away from the Republican, which helps the Democrat. The Democrat has one less vote it has to fight against in order to...
Or you could be a better candidate. No, none of them speak of this. Kaye and this guy and his bizarro freaking twin, neither of them speak about you could just be a better candidate with better ideas that would help people. Or people could connect to. A lot of people don't like Bernie Sanders, I get it. But the guy knows how to connect. So he could run anything and still win. That's why he doesn't run as Democrat, as an independent, and still wins. Democrats run against him. Yes, you could just be a better candidate. You'd have a chance at winning. Look at Nebraska. Dan Osborne. Nebraska is a seriously red state. It's a deep red state. Dan Osborne is an independent, but he clearly leans left. Clearly. He has a better chance of winning. I'm not saying he's going to win. God, I hope he wins because he's independent. I love Dan. He's a friend of mine. Total open disclosure. Dan's a friend of mine. I love him. I hope he wins. But he leans left. If that guy's a better chance of winning as an independent than a Democrat. Better chance, higher odds. Again, may still lose, but better chance. This guy's utterly wrong. I'm just giving him examples of it right now.
Get elected. just like the Republican has one less vote it has to fight against if
Rob says this guy's never
a Democrat or somebody that would normally vote liberal all of a sudden votes for the third party candidate.
Yeah, but okay. Jacob says, I wish the RFK Jr. campaign went the distance. Me too. I understand it was negotiated, but I wanted to go down with the ship like we spoke about in previous. I agree. I wish it had happened. But look, either way, the concept of RFK Jr. shows us that independent parties matter. It shows it either way. I agree with you. I wish he had gone because he probably could have got 5%. That was look, I wanted Gary Johnson to get 5% in 2016 because that didn't happen. But I think he had a shot. I'm with you. I agree. I wish that had happened. Yes. And it says Tucker isn't a communist. He's a right-wing populist. He wants to protect traditional families and borders, which is the exact opposite of Marxism. Correct. And focus on that, not focus on overseas garbage, which means nothing to us. It's irrelevant. It's irrelevant. I know people talk about this all the time, but it's irrelevant. You can always just walk away. I know people think it's silly, but every time we've done it, it's worked. Every time. But if we don't do it, it doesn't work. Remember, neocons are always wrong. Always. And so are these hippies. They're also wrong too.
It absolutely is true on both sides. Because both sides know that even though we have a fucked up two-party system.
Yes, we do.
It's the system we have.
You know what? I agree with you. I'm with you. And back in 1910, when women couldn't vote, they should have just shut up. Obviously, it's the system you got, sister. Shut up. Right? Oh, you wouldn't have said that, would you? When we had slavery in the 1850s and Republicans coming up, don't vote third party by Republicans. Look, I know there's slavery. It's the system we got. Stay a slave. That's what this guy wants. That's his answer. There was a time when only white men over 25 landowners could vote. The system we got. What are you going to do? No. This guy's the same. See how he's the same? And if they were talking to each other, they were the exact opposites. They're exactly the same. They are just cucks to the system. And they know it's broken and don't care. Mark didn't even talk about it. He didn't care about the system at all. This guy tries to act like he doesn't care about the system. Then change it. Imagine, guy, you're saying it's a bad system. Imagine if you were to convince a bunch of people to not vote for the Democrat or the Republican and to vote for the third party. What would happen? Oh, a third party might move. People might believe there's hope. People might start voting a third party. We can't have that. Because you can't make a change now. Marjorie Greene, MTG said it. So Tucker Carlson, it's not going to happen tomorrow. I wish it would. I wish I could magically make the Libertarian Party tomorrow and we'd all be Libertarians and we'd take over the world. That'd be amazing. That's not going to happen. Maybe in my fantasy book I write next week, I'll make that up through AI and we'll write the Libertarian Revolution and it'll be in my cool book. But it's not going to happen in reality. It's not a thing. Not a thing. We'll take time. But here's the issue. I want you to really think about this. They told us every single year since 1980, it's the most important election of our lifetime. I'm not making that up. That's been told every single 4 years since 1980. The most important election of our lifetime. We've been told that. Somebody lost each time. So about half of America has been wrong every 4 years. And imagine if instead of believing that absolute lie, it was a lie then, it's a lie now, it's always been a lie. If we'd stop believing that stupid lie, and what if we'd elected Ross Perot or Gary Johnson that got 5%? What a difference our country would be. What if RFD got 5% last time? What if people had not listened to guys like him and guys like Kaye and instead said, you know what, I'm voting RFK Jr. And he had gotten 12% of the vote or whatever. Imagine that happened. I mean, it's fantasy, but whatever. Imagine. You would watch the entire nation begin to change. And Republicans couldn't just go, well, communism, which is what all they ever do. And the world and Hamas or whatever, boogeyman of the day that Republicans constantly do. They could stop that. And Democrats start going, Orange Man, Trump, he's a fascist Hitler. They could stop doing that because we'd be like, wait a minute. This third party guy is not saying any of that stuff. This third party guy is giving answers. Larry, can that work? Mom Donnie is my mayor. Yes. Yes. It could work. Mamdani's my mayor. All he did was talk about the problems that Americans had. I mean, again, terrible answers, but it still works.
You can wish and hope and pray that the Libertarian's going to win, or the Green Party candidate's going to win, or the write-in candidate's going to win. It's never going to fucking happen.
Hear what he just said. It's never going to happen. So, accept your prison. Accept your prison. You are a prisoner of the empire. Accept your prison. That's what he just said. This guy just said, accept your prison.
The only way that happens is if one of the two major political parties eventually split.
Oh, so that's not never going to happen, is it, asshole? It's not that, is it? Never going to happen unless this happens. Except it happened in 1860, didn't it? Didn't it? So it has happened. And it's the current Republican Party.
Splits or fractures into two, and we begin to see a crumbling of the two-party system.
Well, how can we do that if knuckleheads like you keep saying don't? Accept your prison. Brana, accept your prison. It's the system we got.
Barring that, you're never going to elect a Green Party candidate. You are never going to elect.
We could have done it in Minnesota, not Minnesota, in Michigan. Could have happened.
An independent. You are never going to elect a member of the Libertarian. And people are going to point to Angus Young and Bernie Sanders.
Yes, they are going to point to them.
Outliers.
But that's not never, is it, you knucklehead? Is it? That's not never, is it, you knucklehead? You said never going to fucking happen. And then they just gave you two. And you went outliers. Of course they're outliers. That's the point. But that's all you need. You just need a couple of outliers. And then the system begins to grow. But he can't have that. Because conservatives evil, orange man bad, and we have to stop the orange man no matter what.
Outliers. You've never had a Green Party candidate win one of those seats. You've never had a Libertarian win one of those seats. It doesn't work that way.
We could change it, though, couldn't we?
And it certainly doesn't work at the presidential level. It doesn't, because we have a fucked up two-party system where...
Yes. At least this guy, I'll give him this. The Kaye just ignores it because he doesn't care. He just ignores it. He just dismisses people. He doesn't care. This guy at least acknowledges it. We got a fucked up system.
Money means everything.
If money means everything, why isn't there President Bloomberg? Oh, there isn't. Why isn't there President Bezos? Oh, there isn't. Huh, that's weird. Money means everything. It's weird. Kamala raised $1 billion. Why isn't President Harris? That's weird. Cuomo raised more money than Mamdani. Why don't we have Mayor Cuomo? Oh, we don't. Oh, or it could be you're full of shit and just can't stand capitalism. Could be that. Maybe. Or I could be wrong, but then again, there isn't President Bloomberg. So maybe I'm not wrong. Phil, thank you for $2. Trump spends more than Dems. Commies won. Phil says the Grateful Dead shirt is spot on. Just be passive. Not bad. I like that. Nicely done, Phil. Phil got jokes tonight.
Of course. Look at some of the most progressive candidates in the primary so far.
Yep.
We had a progressive candidate here in Illinois just lost last night.
Oh, you're in Illinois? Of course you are. Andre, he's one of yours.
Even they raised over $3 million.
Yep.
Why? Because money talks and bullshit walks.
I'm going to say stuff that sounds cool.
And if independents were so goddamn successful, she would have run as an independent.
No, if she could have got on the ballot. She might have run as an independent.
Instead of running as a Democrat. Because the reality of the situation.
Yeah, Gracie says, I hate to say it, but independent candidates tend to be less rapey. True. So true. Gracie, thank you. But doesn't matter, Gracie. I know he's rapey, but he's not a Democrat, so it's totally fine. I know he's rapey, but he's not a Republican, so, he's not a conservative, so it's fine. So, and then, of course, you got to pick which holes you use. At least Democrats are open about which holes they use. Republicans lie about what holes they use. Just be open about the holes you use. I'm not mad at you. Gracie says, endless wars to bring middle class, political violence, and inflation is what we have now. So yes, please keep the status quo. Thank you, Gracie. Brilliant. This right here is literally the comment of the evening. It covers both of these guys. Endless wars, disappearing middle class, political violence, and inflation is what we have now. So yes, please Keep the status quo. Perfect. Literally perfect. And the guy on the right and the guy on the left say exactly the same thing. The other guy's bad because whatever, China or Trump or Hamas or whatever story they tell you. All those stories they tell you don't stop endless wars, disappearing middle class, political violence, or inflation. They're all distraction. And these guys don't care. This guy doesn't give a shit. Neither does Kaye. He doesn't care. They're going to take your money and keep moving on, lie and be wrong, and it will not matter at all. It will not matter at all years ago when they're both proven completely wrong. It will not matter. Or when there's more violence. And when violence comes to his house, this guy's house, when it comes to this guy's house, he's just going to blame Trump. When he should look in the mirror. When he should look in the mirror. Kaye, same thing. When it comes to his house, he'll blame the communist. Look in the mirror. You're the one making sure it happens. You're the one making sure it happens. Fiercely Independent, thank you for $10. Independents and third-party candidates need to run for statewide or executive office instead of gerrymandering duopoly districts. Yes, good party, even forward party making progress. True, you have to run executive. You have to. Why? People listen to executives, number one, two, and that affects ballot access, 100%, which is why I run for governor. You are correct. It's nice to be a congressperson or a city council. I'm not mad at you for that. But if you've got the ability, if you've got the cash or the time, or you're in a spot where you can run for an executive, do it. Do it. It matters tremendously. Christopher says, I love Ross Perot's stance on flat tax. Yes, that's something. Flat tax fixes something. What are the guys now fixing? Nothing. Key says, why would I vote for a guy who wants to shoot me or the guy who wants to hang me, especially if there's a guy who wants to share a nice meal with me? Yes. Correct. This guy annoys me. Yes, it's true. Yes, absolutely. Music in the house. I'm voting to collect heads on the bikes. Well, yeah. Gracie, you were knocking it out of the park tonight. He's what's wrong with America. 100% true. Yes. Christopher says, no elections. Remember the bloodbath? That's right, bloodbath. Remember that? Nowhere. Nowhere. Absolutely. Brothers AMA, why are you torturing us, Larry? These clowns are why I gave up news years ago. I've seen them. But this is punditry. Like these guys, thousands of people watch these guys. These are mid-tier guys, to be fair. They're not the tip top. I'll show you a little bit of that maybe later, but that's not it. Yes. Right? This is mid-tier stuff. Absolutely. So, yeah. All right. Where was I? I think I grabbed that piece already. Andrea says they don't want better candidates as they want to keep the status quo. Correct. Absolutely true. All right. Last piece I will bring up, I think we'll end this guy. He's another, again, I'm just showing you he's bizarro Mark Kaye. They're the same guy, just opposite sides of the same coin. They say the same stuff. Other guy bad. Therefore, that's it. So I've been talking about ballots though. So if I've been talking about ballots, one thing, there's a place where you can go to read a little bit about this. And of course, you know what that is. It is the Advocates. Guys, if you can, head on over to the Advocates for Self-Government, if you would. Click the link that is in my description. Click that description if you would. That link there. Head over to the Advocates. Head on over to the article section and type in ballot. And what will happen? Liberty on the ballot will pop up. This is by Remza Martinez. It's actually about 6-7 years ago when he wrote it. And he wrote a very short thing talking about how you should be thinking about the ballot. Should you always vote Libertarian? He's liberty-leaning. Should you vote Republican sometimes? Should you vote Democrat sometimes? Should you avoid voting Libertarian sometimes? And I would argue, as much as I love the Libertarian Party, sometimes you probably shouldn't vote Libertarian. He's not wrong in what he's saying. He talks about it real fast. It's a short read. Please check it out. What do you think about it? Rate the article how you think, and then share it. Get other people talking about it. If you're liberty-leaning, should you always vote Libertarian? Should you shift and sometimes vote Republican, sometimes vote Democrat? Is there such thing as defensive voting or offensive voting? It's a good thing to talk about. When you have a chance, do it. Check them out. They are the Advocates for Self-Government. They're a sponsor of the show. Why would I want you to do that? Because if more people come back here and go to the Advocates for Self-Government, more people realize that you can actually have a society, a government, a culture that is not based upon coercion and violence, but instead based upon respect. That's the key for a better life, for life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. The Advocates for Self-Government. Thank you, guys. So I want to put that piece up there if I could. But I do want to pick up a small chunk here. This is from Breaking Points. Breaking Points is one of the most popular online news, news places, also known as Krystal and Friends, because she runs this thing completely. But yes.
On a third party. Let's take a listen here to Marjorie Taylor Greene on with Piers Morgan discussing her plans for potentially launching something to compete with the Republican and.
Yep. He says a true believer is easier to win over than a lazy voter. Yes, you're not wrong.
Democratic parties.
But is there a chance that Tucker, and maybe with support of people like yourself, could you see him making a run? I mean, is there a new splinter version of the Republicans? A
splinter version, he says. Jacob says, homie literally forgot the Constitution. We have an obligation to tear down government and remake it if it's broken. Yes, but not just that. You are right. I'm going to go further with this, Jacob. Political parties aren't in the Constitution. This system is not constitutional. That's not how it works. For those of you who don't know, the Senate wasn't supposed to be selected by party. Not just that. The vice president wasn't supposed to be the same party as the president. So the person with the second amount of votes. That's how it's supposed to be. So Trump will be the president and Harris will be the vice president. Sometimes to Trump, Harris becomes president. That's what's supposed to happen. But we don't care about any of that. We care about power and only power. You are correct. Yes, you are correct. Phil says just sit in the corner and watch the system do their thing. True. Yes, absolutely true. All right, let me
that could take over the party.
I haven't had that direct conversation with Tucker. I know a lot of people are speculating that, and I can tell you right now, Tucker Carlson would be a great threat to both parties because there's many Americans that are very independent.
Not wrong.
That would support him. But there's also Republican voters and Democrat voters that would support him. So I would say he's a very credible.
This is why they're doing this, because she's actually right. She's saying there are people who would support Tucker Carlson just because he's not them. Right? Those two last guys, they both agree with that. Powell is the Democrat and Kaye is the Republican. They both agree with that. And they know that. That's why they do this, of course.
Threat. There is a group of us that have literally fought the system. Yep. And I think there's a group of us that if we decide to align, we could launch a true America-focused party.
True. Could be done.
That doesn't fall into the traps of Democrats and Republicans, but could align some serious players from the right and the left.
But again, she is saying that it would take a long time. It would be hard, right? We heard that. It's possible. But it's not 5 seconds.
There are serious conversations happening now. Meanwhile, separately, Tucker Carlson, an interview he did with the Columbia Journalism Review, posted yesterday, wherein he talked about this as well. Yep. The reporter asked, are you interested in aligning yourself with other anti-war voices? He says, I do know what really matters is war and finance. Where does the money come from? Where does it go? And who gets killed? And on those questions, the parties are in lockstep solidarity with each other. That's not a democracy. That's a one-party state posing as a democracy, and it needs to be broken.
True. And I keep saying all the time, it's we have it in New York State, one party. Yes, because it says, I love to have the top two POTUS of vice. Yes, if solve our division, correct. And Keith goes on to say, wow, good reason to protect Trump, Vice President Harris. Yes, you're not wrong. Absolutely true.
There's going to be a third party, and I'm going to do everything I can to bring that about. He goes on to say that's the lesson of the last 2.5 months.
He's saying it's a lesson people are getting.
If you vote for Trump and you still wind up in a regime change war, if Chuck Schumer is strongly behind Trump's foreign policy, which he is, then we need options, or else let's just give up and be ruled by the most unscrupulous people.
There's the piece that people don't get. The Democrats aren't against Trump's war. They never were, and they still aren't. They never were, and they still aren't. That's just because Trump didn't do the AUMF. They get to lie and say it's Trump's war. They're totally happy with Trump's war. But now they get to say it. So here's the thing. If it would have worked, if Trump's gamble would have worked, they'd been like, we knew it. We always knew it. They would have played that game. That's why we supported Trump, because we knew he was right. They would have lied that way. Or if it fails, which is failing right now, see, it's all Trump's fault. We would have never done that. They get to lie either way. So, yeah.
Young to accept that. We need a third party. He then later says, I'm going to help build a third party. There should be a good faith effort to figure out what benefits the country. He's asked, would he?
Not wrong. Robin says, Larry, gotta say, Larry, I feel like I'm in clean water now being part of your clan. Yes, I love that. Thank you so much.
Be a candidate for the third party. He said, I don't want to be a candidate. Before I did the New York Times interview, he's referring to with Lulu Garcia Navarro. Someone said to me, quote, they're going to ask you if you're running for president. I was very tempted to say I'm running on the pro-patriarchy ticket just to make sure I gain no new fans and make Krystal Ball as much of the 2016 meme of the lady screaming into the void.
Love that.
Did it, of course. But that both happened separately yesterday. Neither of them referenced one another. So I don't know if they're coordinating on this together. Let's put up one more element. This Mediaite headline of Tucker Carlson successful than they've ever been in recent history. Is third parties be more successful than they've ever been in?
Third parties are on the move, that's for sure, which is why they're trying to stop them, right? This is the reason why they're trying to stop them. They are on the move. That's the issue. They are on the move.
In recent history, is just that money has fundamentally bolstered, augmented the two-party system in ways that it hadn't always in the past. But maybe I'm wrong about that. It's my theory. I just don't see how it's possible to break the two-party infrastructure.
See, look, now, in theory, Emily's on the right. Mike's probably ready to smack you for saying that. But in theory, she's on the right. In theory, Krystal Ball is a news person. I mean, kinda. Ish. But doesn't matter. They're supposedly independent media. Also, they're saying, sadly, and I say this sadly, the Young Turks is more independent than they are. That's a terrible thing to say. It's true. It's true. These guys are just establishment shills who are no longer physically in the establishment, right? They're just not in the establishment, but they're just establishment. But they're not in it. Well, they still are. Because they both go, Emily says, there's no way with arm, there's no way. She just said, look at her, you could stop the two-party system. You could just vote for third parties. You could just stop accepting that every election is the most important election in the world and just one election. I said this years ago, like 30 years ago. I said probably 30 years ago, I said, one election, all black people should just vote Republican, like one election. And people are like, why? They're racist. They would tell me I'm mad about it. No, like one election. This is before I was in Libertarian. I was like, what? We should just all vote Republican. Why? Because then Republicans might care about us and Democrats might care about us. Like 35 years ago, I said that, or whenever, however it was, a long time. I said, just do that. Because we keep voting Democrat and they don't care. And Republicans go, why bother? Just if all black people just once will go, you know what? We're all voting Republican. Republicans go, wait a minute, we could get you? We didn't know we could get you. Let's do something. And Democrats go, wait, we could lose you? What? That's what I thought. The concept is the same here. You could just vote independent. Nothing is physically stopping you. You could just do it. But they know, which is why Bizarro Powell and Bizarro Kaye will try to get their people to feel stupid. That's why they do it. They want you to feel stupid and scared. And God damn it, it works. Because when you feel stupid and scared, you walk into that voting booth and go, oh, I'm scared because whatever, orange man, so I vote Democrat. Oh, Hamas, so I vote Republican. Both are stupid, but people do it because fear. I'm scared and I don't want to feel stupid. So I do it. You could just walk in and vote independent. Just imagine if, again, last time, everyone, 10 million people voted, I'm making this up, voted for Jill Stein or voted for, I don't care, RFK or whatever. Pick the person. I don't care who it is. The person's not going to win. We know that they've already told us that they made us this, but they can't. But imagine if 10 million, 15 million, 20 million people voted for the third party. Just did it. I don't care I don't care what Mark Kaye thinks and whatever lie he tells me or whatever lie Powell tells me. I don't care what these guys tell me. They're wrong. They're just saying shit. They're going to be wrong 2 years from now anyway. No one's going to care. I'm going to vote for it. Just do it. And then they go, oh my God, 20 million people just voted for whoever, RFK Jr., Joe Stein, whatever. Everyone would, everything would change overnight. The fear that would crack. Oh my God, we could do it. You want better Republicans and better Democrats? have an actual third party threat. Now are you making it up? If that wasn't true, then why in the world did RFK Jr. get what he wanted from Trump? Yeah. I actually have receipts. These guys don't. These guys have, can you ever work? That's all they have. They have no receipts. I have receipts. I just watched it happen. Viator says 90 million eligible voters didn't vote in 2024. Yes. Imagine if 45 million voted for Chase, another 45 for Stein. Yes. Imagine, I want to go 90 million, 9 million, just 10%. If 10% of the eligible voters who didn't vote voted for Chase or voted for Stein, they wouldn't have won, but it would have shaken everything. Could you imagine if Chase Oliver got 9 million votes? I hate Chase. I don't give a shit if you hate Chase. I hate Stein. I don't give a shit if you hate Stein. They weren't going to win anyway. But imagine if they got 9% of the vote. My whole goal when I was trying to get the Libertarian Party to stop virtue signaling and actually put Lars Mapster on the ballot is we would have won an electoral vote. That was the entire plan. That wouldn't have won the election. But having a gold piece on the map says we can win. We can win something. Oh my God, would have put Libertarian Party on the map. Trump would have still won the election. He was going to win anyway. But imagine if the Libertarian Party wouldn't have been about virtue signaling and would have put Lars Mapster on the goddamn ballot, I'd have been his VP. We would have won one electoral vote. It would have been in Nebraska or in Maine. And all of a sudden, it wouldn't equal, the same amount. It wouldn't equal 540, 538. It would equal 537 with one. It would have changed. You're totally correct. But we're so scared. D says, I remember being a scared Republican. I was never one of those. I never gave a shit. But I'm with you. I do get that. Most people are. Rob says a lot. Yes. Lars would have been a hero of the Democrat Party. He would have been the nemesis of the Democrat Republican Party and a hero of the Libertarian Party. Yes. Key says, or if I went over Larry. True. Rob said, thank you for $2. Third parties are the only way out of this mess. Yes. And lots of people know that's why they keep doing it. They're just trying to get enough people together. I'm trying to get enough people together to do this. I'm with it. Sure. Watch her excuse.
At all. I mean, if you play this out and think about, okay, what would happen if Marjorie Taylor Greene and Tucker Carlson and Thomas Massie, let's say, start this third party, like what would proceed? And what would happen is they would peel off, I don't know, 10%, 20%, maybe.
Yep. See, she says it. Maybe, right? Maybe 10%, 20%, maybe what she says. So watch her dismiss. Could you imagine if some MTG, Massey party, whatever, got 10% of the vote? She dismisses that. That would be magical. I would love that. That would be magical if they get 10% of the vote. That'd be amazing. I would jump for joy at 5. Jump for joy at 5.
Of the Republican Party?
Which makes you a spoiler, basically.
And then the Republican Party.
And she goes, makes you a spoiler, basically. Just makes you a spoiler. So Emily immediately goes spoiler. She agrees.
Would be guaranteed to lose by a wide margin. And that's what the result would be. So
the result will be that, this is what she just said. The result will be Republicans would lose by a wide margin. That's what she says. So Democrats will start winning. That's the whole fear part. So this is the independent news network. It's not, but supposedly that's saying don't vote independent.
I encourage them to go in this direction. I mean, as someone on the left who is always thinking about, we've been having this third party conversation on the left for a very long time. And should you do that, or should you work within the Democratic?
But they never changed the system.
Party, and are they going to co-opt you, and then you never end up really, being any?
Are they going to co-opt you? Yes, every time. Not sometimes. Every time. The time when this country had a massive political change was when the third party, the Republican Party, won the election. I have the data points. We know it. The guy's name was Lincoln. That's when it happened. Yes.
Different than them, and this is an ongoing debate. Both paths are very difficult, but we can see with DSA what actually works. Look at
for now. See, they have a victory. There's no difference. No difference when all the people were so happy when Trump won in 2016. They thought we got rid of him. We got rid of Rubio. We got rid of, Lindsey Graham. Remember that? We got rid of the establishment. Remember that? All the Republicans thought that. This is what Democrats are now. They all think, oh, well, now Mamdani's here. We got rid of Chuck Schumer. He's finished. You think they're finished? You think the neolibs are finished? You think they're finished? What's wrong with you? The neocons are back already. This is the data. Look at the people who literally hated Trump in 2016. They're in charge now. Literally. He didn't change anything. He's been co-opted too.
The DSA versus look at the Green Party. What is, and I don't think it's fair. I don't think the Green Party were the spoilers in 2016. If you look at the numbers, it doesn't really work out because you're assuming all of those voters would show up and would vote for the Democrats. If they didn't vote for the Greens, I don't think
she admits that some people wouldn't show
up. I don't think that math totally maths. I also don't think that blaming voters for deciding that they prefer this other alternative is really the way to go either. But in any case, you could see the Green Party has had very limited impact on American politics, trying to pursue the third party path, and DSA, and before them Working Families Party, and
Working Families did nothing.
Even if you look on the Republican side, the Tea Party or Trump taking over the Republican Party, you can look further back at the DLC taking over the Democratic Party in the 90s.
And all of them got co-opted. Every single thing you mentioned got co-opted.
Which is not a direction I would want them to go in, but in any case, it was a successful sort of takeover of the party.
How was it a takeover when the establishment got right back in charge, and now DSA is taking them over? The establishment will be in charge in 5 years, of course, because it always takes them over. That's what happens.
That is the much more likely path of success if you want to change the political system. So without...
How is that true? Everything she just said happened over the past, 20 years, give or take? But she hates what's happening in America right now. She complains all the time. What's happened? She didn't get her Medicare for all, which she wants. Didn't get that, so that didn't work, right? She didn't get her tax to rich. She wanted that, didn't get that. Everything she wanted, she didn't get. She didn't get her codification of Roe v. Wade. That's what she wanted. She didn't get that. She didn't get single payer. She didn't get that. Everything she wanted, she did not get. Well, that's how you change things. What the fuck do you change? Nothing. No, that's how you fool yourself into believing you're changing something when you're not. That's how you virtue signal and feel like you're changing something when you're not. How do you actually change things? When a third party wins. 1860 Republicans, third party. That's when something happened. Ross Perot, the fear that hit them, and they changed all the rules when they saw that happening. It changed all the rules of Ross Perot. Ross Perot was going to change shit. They saw that. Changed all the rules. She won't bring that up either. This doesn't work. So what's so different in the Republican Party now? What Republicans changed? Where's your balanced budget amendment? Nowhere. Where's your comprehensive immigration reform? Nowhere. Have you passed the SAVE Act even? No. You closed the border. Nicely done. Not mad at that. That's it. What else? Are we now fighting in the Middle East? No, we are again. Did we end the military industrial complex? No. What'd you do? So you're Republican. What you want? Did that get changed? No. So it doesn't matter what you want. They don't care what you want. Mr. Powell on the left and Mr. Kaye on the right don't care what you want. They'll sit there and watch you keep talking to them and giving them money. They'll love that all day. They don't care what you want. You're not getting any of it. Shut up and let my team win. Keep giving me money. They don't care. They never did. And they never will. And they'll be wrong again and again. So will Krystal. She'll be wrong again. This time we're going to fix things. She's not getting Medicare for all. She's not getting it. She's not getting her codification of Roe v. Wade. She ain't getting it. Everything she talked about, she just wants, she's not getting. This is how you change things. No, it's not. Here's how you fool yourself into believing you're changing things.
These more fundamental reforms, which I support, by the way, we should.
Where are they?
Have ranked choice voting. We should make it so that there could be a.
So this is what I'll give the left, the right does not do. This, I'm going to give the left credit here. The left at least acknowledges the system sucks. The right doesn't exist. The system's perfect. Good. Your system is perfect. At least the left acknowledge that it sucks. They say we're not going to change it. We're going to leave it shitty. That's what it is. They won't change it. But at least they acknowledge it. Krystal acknowledges you should have different things like ranked choice voting. Republicans hate ranked choice voting. They're utterly wrong. but they hate it. Of course, neocons hate that shit because you can't do Dems bad.
Broader array of political parties and views.
Yes. They're admitting it. You should have it. Of course you should. Of course you should.
Represented in our politics versus just Democrat and Republican. You have to start there if you're
So how would you start there, Krystal? At least you admit that. Oh, nicely done. You admit you have this. So how do you start there? I have an idea. Vote independent. So that they get scared and make changes. How do I know this to be true? RFK Jr. Again, whether you like or hate RFK Jr., Trump had no policy on food or medicine or vaccine. He had no policy. He didn't care about that. But RFK Jr. had 5% of the vote. Independent. Had 5% in his pocket. And Trump said, I want that 5%. He said, all right, I'll give it to you. You got to give me that. Trump said, okay. Now there's changes. And you may go, I don't care about you. Good. Do you want electoral change? Do you want Roe v. Wade codified? Do you want a balanced budget amendment? Whatever the hell you want, right? Do you want immigration reform? Do you want to stop fighting wars? Whatever you want. Get an independent to run on that. Then they got to make change. That's the point.
Starting just with we're going to have the third party and it's going to work out. It's not. And I think to your point about why that is, the money's part of it. But I think it's more, there's just such hardened partisan loyalties.
Yes, there is. Because all you do is support Democrats. Now, she will talk trash about them and then go vote for Harris. Just like Kyle Kalinske, her oldest son, will do. Just like all those people will do it. Right? They'll all just talk trash and then go vote Democrat. They're so bad, but Orange Man bad, so vote Democrat. The Republicans the same stuff. Well, you can't, that guy's not great, but he's not a Democrat. He's not a communist. To just say that. So yes. And now, by the way, Republicans say communist because no socialist isn't so bad.
That if you put an R by your name or you put a D by your name, you're like guaranteed this certain chunk.
You could take that off the ballot, couldn't you? You could take the R or D off the ballot, couldn't you? In fact, why is it on a ballot? It's unconstitutional. Why is the government promoting a party? Put the name on. But Larry told me, no, it hasn't. Back in the day, there weren't printed ballots. That's not a thing. You didn't print ballots. We did printers. How could you print a ballot? The Constitution doesn't say print a ballot. The Constitution says you write down who you want and they count the vote. That's how it works. So what would happen in the past? There would be political groups and there'd be guilds and things like that. And they would tell you who they think you should vote for. That's how it would work. So you go to your local church group or your guild group or your political party group and they say, hey, we got this guy. He supports us. Vote for that guy. Word it down. You got that guy. That's how it worked. Now it's corporate.
And then you're building from there. Whereas if you create something new, you really are starting from vote number one.
You're not if you try to help out when the party's already working.
And you're at a tremendous, tremendous disadvantage. So
I just want you to see that part. It drives me crazy. I hope that was clear for you guys to see. All that stuff makes me want to vomit. They're all terrible. They're all liars. They're all wrong. And that's just how that works. So let me keep walking down this road. I'm trying to grab some of these more recent ones. And I'll also, if I can, put up I'll also put up some AMA questions if I can. All righty. Let's see here. Gracie says, ladder reach out to the Maha Crows, New York. We'll see. Let's see. Oh, that's not what I want to say. All right. Grace says, Hannity still closely follows politics in Florida. I think he's saying some of Larry's talking points. He's trying to be a coalition with old school Dems. Well, yeah. Hannity knows who I am. In 2022, he literally wanted a show and told people to not vote for me. I'm not joking. He was doing an interview with Zeldin and they saw the polling because the Republicans were trying to hammer me in 2022. They were trying to show how insignificant I was, what a spoiler I was. So they put me in a poll. They never did that shit again. That was dumb. They thought they could make me look bad in a poll. I had been kicked off the ballot. I had lost my lawsuit. I was finished. I still polled at 3% in their push poll. So they made a push poll in an attempt to make me look bad, and I still polled at 3%. And I wasn't on the ballot. I lost my lawsuit, and I polled 3%. They were like, damn, it didn't work well. So Hannity said, guys, don't vote for this Larry Sharpe guy. You got to vote for Zeldin. He literally said it on the show. So that's one of my cool points. I did enjoy that tremendously. So yeah. All right. Let me see if I can grab if there's any other AMA pieces. I will try to move through to grab AMA questions if I can. Let's see. What do I got here? So I can knock out some of these for the next 20 minutes or so if I can. All right. Let's see. We're going here. Episode number 800. That's true. Absolutely. It is episode 800. I do appreciate that. I've been doing this for a long time. Sharpe Way's been on since 2019. This has been 7 years. So yes, a long time. And through a long time, through 2 campaigns and moves and everything else, trying to walk down this door, it has been very challenging. So yeah. James says that guy's laughing in the face of democracy into a republic. Yes, he is. Correct. They don't care. And people think he cares. Neither one of those guys cares. They care about being correct. They care about righteousness. That's what they care about. And they're righteous. It's absolutely true. Yes. All righty. I think I grabbed that piece already. Mike says Tucker's no Lincoln. Yes, but he never said he was. He never said he was. He wants to build a party. He wants to find the right guy. Maybe you're the right guy, Mike. Get rid of the Republican Party. Go into a cool new party. Be the Lincoln. That's good. Where am I? One quote for tonight. I'm going to move past that one. You don't have to, I don't think there are that many. I don't mind if there aren't many AMAs. Cajun says, I laugh at everyone who keeps voting for duopoly, expecting things to get better for anyone but the upper class. Insane. True. Again and again and again. We keep voting for the same thing and the wealth gap keeps growing. Nothing seems to get better. And they keep going, but this time, because now we're going to stop them. No, you're not. No, you're not. You're not going to stop them. You haven't. Nothing changes. Why? People react to incentives. What is the incentive for things to get better? There is none. There is none. There's no way. Why would they make things better? There's literally no reason. Yes. D says, I've definitely heard Mike say before he does things. I know, I can see. She can outbench him. She can outbench him. So that's a little self-report. So yeah, 100%. That's it. All righty. Shelly says, I'm all Libertarian tonight with ribeye for dinner. I love that. I may eat after this. I may not. I've been good. I only ate this morning. I've been trying to have a longer intermittent fasting to keep my weight down a bit. The stress has been affecting me recently. So heavy stress, cortisol, snacking. So I'm trying to avoid that stuff if I can. So yes. Mike says, I do think MPG is more serious and credible versus Tucker. I would agree with you. I think she's been through stuff. She knows more stuff. She's much more credible than Tucker. The question is, will that matter, right? Are they trying to actually win or are they trying to just get the 5%? If it's the 5% play, Mike, I think Tucker's a better move because he's more popular. You're just looking for popular people to get the 5%. Tucker could be a fine job to get the 5%. If you're looking to actually win something, whether it's presidency or Senate seat or congressional seat with this third party, I think MPG is a much better candidate because that's a serious, you're trying to actually win. If you're trying to win an election, I think you're right. MTG, trying to get 5%, Tucker's just as fine. That becomes a popularity contest only. And I think he could win that. He's popular enough to get 5%. So yes. Shay says, so when is Tucker going to interview Larry? Even negative advertising is good advertising. Besides, you can handle Tucker easily. Yes and yes. If anyone knows Tucker, please let them know. I'm happy to be interviewed. Look, the reality of it is you'll know they're serious when they reach out to me. I'm not joking. All the people who were thinking about running independent always reach out to me at one point. They're like, because it's all from 2018. They all reach out to me at one point if they're serious. And they always go through the losers first, the people who are just grifters. There's tons of grifters out there who just take the money and lie, and they're actually working for Democrats, Republicans, and their goal is to sabotage it. Tons of people sabotaged RFK's campaign. I mean, tons. It's all over the place. So yeah, those people have to go through those people first. I of course know who they are, and when they call me, I will immediately expose them, and they get ejected 100%. So yes. DMA, do you know that Mark Kaye created an app, Right Pen AI? It's an app that tells you the truth and gives you ammo towards fake news. You can share an article. Oh, so it's a propaganda machine. So Mark Kaye made a propaganda machine. He said, my propaganda isn't enough. In case you don't have enough of my propaganda, here's an AI tool to give you even more propaganda. You can have tons of Republican propaganda. In fact, you think you don't have enough? You can never have enough Republican propaganda. Use this and you can keep going on. Oh my God. The parties think, it's funny, it's each party thinks the other one has propaganda. They both have propaganda. So he just said, Republicans don't have enough propaganda. Fox News not enough for you? I got you. Right Pen AI. You don't need a cable subscription. Get my AI. Fox News in your pocket. Love it. It's amazing. So, all right. Bronna says, I tell people I'm an anarchist. They think I'm a bomb throwing. Yes, because people see, they hear anarchist and think chaos. Correct. Adironic says, Gary Johnson had a good third-party run. I agree. Attacked by Republicans, attacked by Democrats, attacked by the media. They were afraid of him. Because he had a chance early on. He blew it, sadly. I love the man, but he blew it. He did have a chance early on at getting 5%. That was an actual chance. Sadly, he blew it. I wish he didn't. I love the man. It is what it is. So Chris says, if everyone voted their honest choice for best candidate, it'd be ideal. Yes. Just start doing it. Just start doing it. If you just do it once, look, she said, you heard Krystal say it. She said, maybe he gets 10%. That would be amazing. 10% would be amazing. I would be so happy if a third party in a national got 10% of the vote. Oh my God. That would be amazing. I hope she's right and that happens. That would change everything. James says, you know how it is. Both parties want is a one-party dictatorship. All they want is the elites to keep winning. And here's the thing. If you're an elite doing well, it makes sense. If you're privileged, it makes sense. Why do you want to change anything? Life's going well for you. You're making good money. Your life is good for you. You got your second house, whatever. Life's good. Your retirement's set. Why would you? I get it. But I got people who can't afford to buy a car because they can't pay the insurance. People have to live with family members, right? How many kids? I got kids. How many kids have to live with their parents because they can't afford to move out? And you voting for the establishment? What's wrong with you? You're voting for your jailer. That's Stockholm Syndrome stuff. You're voting for your jailer. I'm not making that up either. They're not helping you. Now, I get it. That's why I get why people voted for Trump in 2016. He didn't seem like the jailer. I get why they voted for Mamdani in 2025. He didn't seem like a jailer. I get it. Yes. I completely agree. It makes sense to me. I see why they do it. So, James says, I think they should consider joining the Constitution Party instead. To be fair with you, the Constitution Party is a very good party for them. You're right. Constitution Party is right-leaning. I know the party very well. They're pro-life. Everyone talking is also pro-life. They are a good party for them. The problem is the Constitution Party may not be able to cross over and get any Democrats at all. And if they're just looking to punish Republicans because they're mad, that's a good move. If they're looking to actually make impact, you have to make a serious change to the Constitution Party's platform, or you can't Constitution Party because they're a very right-leaning party. So while I think for those people are right-leaning, so you're right, James, they would work for them if their goal is to just hurt Republicans. If their goal is to actually make real impact, they've got to find a party that isn't going to be that way. It's got to be a party that can cross over. Libertarian, Forward. Forward could do it because Forward doesn't have a platform. Libertarians left and right, you could do Libertarian. You could do Forward. You couldn't do Greene because Greene's too socialist. That wouldn't work. You could do, in theory, no labels because they don't really have a platform. I mean, they're really just establishment hacks. But theoretically, you could do no labels. You could also do Forward because there's no platform. They're left-leaning, but no platform. So you could do those. Libertarian too. Libertarian platform is left and right. You could do that. But it costs virtue signaling. That's fine with libertarians. Got a virtue signal. So D says, we have a doubleheader member next Saturday, 18th. True. Panel show at 7 p.m. and then a YouTube members only show right afterwards. True. I will get that out to you guys as soon as I can. I'm trying to get this done as soon as I possibly can. So, all righty. Nosy says, it's 30 years past time for a third party. Perot shook up the system. They were sweating. As soon as they scrapped by that election, they all got together and made it much harder for independents too. Second piece, can I find it? Yes, to get ballot access. RFK would have made on all for the ballots with about 20 million, but it took up with Trump. I seriously doubt we'll ever see a third party president election. I hope you're wrong, but yes, I see what you're saying. I hope you're wrong. Yes. Mike says, I hadn't heard Kaye before, but he hasn't made an argument yet. That's correct. I still don't trust Morgan due to association with Dems and Tucker. Feels this is serious. MPG sounds most credible. I think you're right on everything you said. I agree with all that. Morgan is probably just talking trash, trying to find a way to do something as he starts to walk away from his business. Probably true. Been a Democrat in the past, probably because he liked he doesn't want tort reform, and Republicans were for tort reform for a while ago, so it could be that. Tucker is for popularity, right? If your goal is just to get 5%, I think Tucker's just as good as MTG. If your goal is to actually win something, whether that's the presidency, a governorship, a Senate seat, a Congress, whatever it is, as independent, I agree with you. MTG is a better choice. So yeah, and Kaye doesn't have arguments. Most people don't, Mike. You know this. Most people don't have arguments either. Most just talk trash. That's what they do. Most just talk trash. So, yeah. Robin said, well, I got to say, remember the movement within the movement, the Tea Party? It made the party worse. That's good. All righty. Let's see here. I think I worked on that one already. Hey, Larry, appreciate that. Yes. Lindsey Graham is men gut. Is men get yet? Well, yes. That's fine. But I'm not mad at her. I'm mad at him for pretending he's not. Dude, just be you. Just be you, right? I'm not mad. Just be you. As I keep saying that. Use the holes you want to use. I'm not mad at it. It's all good. So, Keith says, empires not conquered. They collapse in their own bureaucracy. Also very true. And they're always at war. They're always at war. That's the other issue. They are constantly at war. It's crazy how much empires are at war. Countries can't lose wars. They're devastated. Empires lose them all the time. They're always at war anyway. It doesn't really matter. They build themselves off of war, which is what America's done. So yes. Jacob says the man wanted to perpetuate the status quo, which is a fat goose egg. Yes. Andrea says, vote for the person at the party. My vote belongs to no one but me. True. Absolutely true. Guys, I haven't asked you yet. I'm going to keep going, but I want you guys, please click the like button if you haven't already. If you like what I'm doing, if you enjoy this, if you like this style, like what I'm doing, please click the like button. It does matter. Also, share this someplace. Share this wherever you want to share it. I appreciate it. And you can also support the show and find the show at the link tree. It is a link right there, The Sharpe Way. Please check it out if you can. Support as you best you can so we can keep this thing moving and maybe grow a bit. Maybe we can get bigger than some of the other guys. I'm not sure. I'm not enough blood sport. I'm not enough yelling, it's the other guy or whatever. I'm not enough of that. I probably should do more of that. That's probably my problem. I should probably spend more time going, Democrats, you're evil or whatever, and just beat up Democrats or just Republicans, you're evil and beat them up all day. I guess I could do that, but I'm trying not. Jacob says bizarro twin. They are. They're literally the same person. They're literally the same person, but just opposite, but same. Yes. All righty. Let's see here. I think I covered those already. I covered that one. You guys going back and forth. I like that. Missy says both sides vomit fear mongering and nonsense. Yes. Nosy says delete both sides, compose them all. You've been hanging out with Lunatic too much, Nosy. Lunatic. See, you got her going. You got her going. Yes. All right. All right. It's your fault, Lunatic. Okay. D says, AMA, does Larry think Republicrats have a playbook in states? We fight each other until third parties get too close. Then we join forces for the common goal of squashing third parties. That's happened every single state. I've seen it. Yes. Every time. And in fact, they'll punish each other who helps. Happens here in New York. When the Democrats never have brought up any type of electoral reform. They don't bring it up unless it's to crush us. The Republicans, a couple have actually been like, look, we need third parties because the Republicans who want to win, most Republicans in my state don't. Now, it depends on what state you're in. In my state, most don't want to win. For those who want to win, they recognize the way of winning is what Trump taught us in 2024. It's coalition. That's how you actually win. So they're like, let's get other parties together. We'll create a coalition and beat the establishment. That is a viable way of doing it. It's the right move. Republicans who want to win know this to be true. So they actually have put forward rules in New York State to change the law so we can have other parties that can create a coalition that can win. The establishment Republicans go, we don't want that, and crush them. They crush their own who are trying to win. For those of you who've noticed, there's a lot of Republicans across this country in blue states who are just quitting, just like I'm out. I'm quitting. Why? Because Republicans in blue states don't want to win. So the people who are leaving are people who actually want change. I know it sounds weird, but yes. Nobody says, I would have went down with RFK Jr. Me too. I'm with you. Yes. Miss says, I will forever be bitter about Turncoat Weld chilling. Yes. Bill Weld in 2016 going in and endorsing Hillary Clinton in the last month of the campaign. The final knife in the back of Gary Johnson. There were many knives in his back. That was the final one. There was the final nail in his coffin. And I hate it because in the beginning, he actually had a chance of getting 5%. He did. The chance was there. And he did not make it happen. He couldn't pull it out. And you know what I love about Gary Johnson? He actually said it. He said something. He said, you know what? Maybe I just wasn't the right messenger. And look, as sad as I hear that, at least the guy actually took responsibility. I'll give him that, right? I want to give him that. He actually said it. He said, maybe I was the right messenger. And maybe he wasn't. So, yes. All righty. Let's see if I can grab that down if I can. I've been picking those up. All right. Phil says, I like Thomas Massey's 3 strokes you're out rule. That is kind of cool. Yes. All right. Keith says, when you find yourself in a hole, quit digging. Seen on billboard, but makes sense. Yes. All right. Henderson, I'm not taking him. He's one of yours, Andrea. I'm just saying he is one of yours. That's absolutely true. Look, I got Mom Donnie. He's one of mine. So, we just got to deal with what we got to deal with. That's just kind of how that works. So that's where that is. Shelly says, we've epped up the 2-party system. I agree. That's why we need more parties. True. It is. It's absolutely. Yes. It's a disaster. It's a total disaster. All right. Lori's here. Hi, Lori. Didn't see that. Yes. All right. Then we grab that one. I'm on my way down here. Gracie says, I vote GOP when the last name's Paul. True. That's a good time. That's a good time to do it. I agree. Okay. I covered that one. Missy says, please double check on your subscription. Yes. YouTube has been randomly unsubscribing people again. Click the notification bell to all. Yes, that's right. When you do that, click. YouTube decides you're a bot, unsubscribes you. So instead, make sure you're subscribed, and make sure when you subscribe, click on the notification bell for all notifications. That is the key. All notifications. If you do that, now we got a shot at actually making sure that you get to hear everything and see everything. So yes. He says, being a Sharpe Libertarian is awesome. I agree. I agree completely. Yes. Robin says, maybe if Carter would have dropped the bombs back in the hostage situation, none of this would have been happening. If Carter really messed up Iran, no doubt, you're totally correct. And we could have just not messed up Iran, left them alone, not taken in the Shah, none of that stuff. And right now, we'd probably be trading partners right now. So yeah, Carter messed that up. He absolutely did. I agree. Look, to be forward, Reagan walked away, which was the right answer. He used the wisdom of humongous and he just walked away. So yes, he did use it. And he used to be someone that, people, the Republicans used to love. Now they're like, Reagan who? So yes. Key says, you're damn right. I'm going to spoil the vote. Yep. Phil says, Krystal was peanut butter and jelly. That's good. Krystal goes on to say, independents are about as important as third parties. They're neutral. Yes, they can make change. Rob says, I watched this Breaking Points BS and was super disappointed in them. I usually like them, but I feel like it's 2-party system propaganda. Yes, I'm so disappointed in Breaking Points. I really am. It has become Krystal and Friends. And the problem is Krystal's personality is so strong. She just dominates the entire show. She dominates Sagar. She dominates Emily. And I mean, I don't know what Ryan Grimm does. I don't know. But so yeah, she just dominates. That's why I call it Krystal and Friends. It's not really Breaking Points. It's Krystal and Friends. She's destroyed the whole piece. But to be forward, they had a good concept. The back and forth is not a bad concept. And I think the best one I'd seen was before, when it was not Breaking Points, the other one that used to be Rising. Rising now is just unwatchable garbage. But it used to be back when Robbie and Brianna Joy Gray. I love Brianna Joy Gray. She's a lefty. But Brianna Joy Gray is someone, as a lefty, who doesn't just insult. And so many lefties just insult. She actually will walk you through her argument. She will say why. She will give receipts. She will walk you through her argument. That is not common on the left, and she will do it, and she'll stand by her convictions. Love that woman. I adore her, and I love that. I wish more lefties would do that. You could actually argue with her. You could actually walk down a road with her. You could actually make a decision with her. In my view, she is the poster child for what lefties should be. I would love that. Most of them just go, you're dumb, or Trump bad, or whatever. No, she actually gave you arguments. And Robbie would yell and scream with her. Robbie would get mad because Robbie didn't have good arguments. So he would get mad because she would basically make him look stupid. So yeah. But anyway. So that's when I thought that I was hoping that breaking points could be that with Saga and Krystal. That has not happened at all. My hopes were shattered. That has not happened. Andrews, I'm disappointed in Emily. Me too. Me too. Emily's not strong enough. She simply can't. She's not strong enough to defend herself against Krystal. Krystal is her personality is too strong, which is why she has a older son, Kyle, who's taking care of her children from another father. Just saying. So anyway, alrighty. Let's see here. If I walk down this here. Gracie says Maggie got co-opted. It did. It's obvious. It's obvious. I wish that wasn't true, but it's obvious. Yes. Adirondack says, I was told if I don't vote, I can't complain. I love to complain. You better vote then. I don't know who said that, but yes. D says, Republicans hate ranked choice voting. You thank Hannity for that. Correct. Yes, they hate it. And they're wrong, but they hate it. They're wrong. Because remember, they just want to say, the system. And that's it. That's it. Dominic says, ranked choice voting should happen a lot more often. True. Yes. D says, AMA Republicans, RCV helps like Democrats. So, no, it's absolutely not true. It happened a couple of times. So they say it. They once they lost, in Alaska, they were like, that's the end. It didn't go for us. So now we hate it. Their entire reason for hating ranked choice voting is they didn't get Sarah Palin. I wish I was joking. That's when they hated it. When they couldn't get Sarah Palin back in action as a senator, I think, or was it governor? Senator, I think, right? As senator. When they couldn't get Sarah Palin back in as senator, they were like, ranked choice voting sucks. People didn't want her. She's nuts. They didn't want her. She was too busy shooting wolves or something, or whatever she does there. So, yeah, I mean, whatever she does. That kind of thing. So, any case. Robin says, been a great show, but so far, I've thought that in every live stream I've watched. But so far, I thought that. Oh, thank you. I'm glad. Yes. Sean Hannity, Leprechaun. It's amazing you remember from 20 years ago. The Leprechaun. That's actually funny. So, okay, then I covered that one. D says, I remember back in my echo chamber Hannity days, it's about Neil Bortz, that pesky libertarian convincing a bunch of people to vote Libertarian in Georgia. Yeah, you can't break the system. You can't break the system. Burns, I can't stand Hannity. When he was with Combs, I tend to agree with Hannity more than Combs. Hannity was just the bully. Yeah, Combs was just not strong enough also in personality. He wasn't. Hannity has a very strong personality. You've got to be able to stand with him. And Combs, and that's what I had at Combs. It was Hannity and Combs. That's what it was. Which is why once Combs was gone, there was no one to replace him. Whoops. Hold on. Where am I here? Hold on. What did I just do? Hold on. I just put something on by mistake here, didn't I? Okay, yeah, sorry about that. All right. Any case, so did I cover that one? I think I covered that piece. I'm trying to cover as many as I can here. Christopher says Tucker has a cult following. That's about it. Yes, I agree with you, and I think that's my point. If you're just going for the 5%, I do think that makes sense. Doing Tucker, it's fine. If you're trying to win something, I agree with Mike. I think you need someone more credible than Tucker for that. Rob says Tulsi is their party candidate. Her team reached out to me back in 2020, about 6 years ago, when she was considering running back then as an independent. So yeah, she's thought about it in the past, that I'm aware of it. All I can say that I feel comfortable with is she has thought about it in the past. Now she's officially a Republican. She has actually become a Republican. RFK Jr. is not a Republican. She has become one. So I think she's probably one Republican, I assume. Most Republicans aren't mad at her. She doesn't have that same visceral anger towards them. My gut is she'll run Republican if she does, unless she runs in Hawaii, in which case she'll probably run Democrat or independent because Republican Party infrastructure in Hawaii is broken. So she probably would run independent or Democrat if she runs from Hawaii. But she just move and run someplace else, or just run for president. It wouldn't matter. So yeah, I think she's still there. So, all right, I think I covered that piece. Bronna says, AMA, I know Free's doing always smarter than a politician during Freedom Fest. Will you be able to do a live stream this week from Vegas? I don't know. I'm not promising anything. I will try. I am, for those of you who know, I'm an ambassador of Freedom Fest. So I go every year. I'm the guy they put. I'm the guy they put in the pinch hitter. So they schedule me for like one thing, and then I do like 5. When someone isn't there, when someone can't make something, when there's a problem, I show up and I just fill in. So it's like, we had a guy who was going to talk about X, Y, and Z. He couldn't make it. I'm the X, Y, Z guy now. Or we don't know what's going to happen here. We need someone to MC this. I'll MC it. We don't know what's going on. We need someone to do. I'll do it. That's what I do. So I'll be scheduled for 2 things. I'll do like 4 or 5, whatever. So I don't know what I'll do. We'll see. So, yeah. All right, then I cover that piece. All right. Shelly says, AMA and Winchester Quartet. We don't have one yet. We will see. We will see. We don't have one yet. We'll figure it out when the time comes. I don't know. So D says, now I'm hoping to get some pictures with Larry at Freedom Fest for the people, and hopefully I will be able to get a quick mashup video. I will try. I promise nothing. I promise I will try. That's it. Nothing else. So, all right. Let's see it. Roger says, the third party that will come out on top is everybody who embraces direct democracy, work cooperatives in business and in government. Citizens initiated constitutional amendments. I hope you're right, and I hope I'm the guy. I hope you're right, and I hope I'm the guy. I hope yes to both of those. That's what I would say. All righty. Let's see here. We'll cover that one. You guys are going back and forth a lot about the boob party. I'm not going to touch most of that. I appreciate it. I'm glad. And it says Johnson should have chosen you. I agree. Imagine how far we'd be if Johnson had chosen me as the VP. Completely agree. We'd have gone a whole lot further. We would have gone a whole lot further. I completely agree. Yes. Mullen says, I'm disappointed as a Mainer, even with ranked choice voting here. Voters don't seem to know how to take advantage of it. They don't. And they're trying not to, because they try to make it irrelevant. They're trying to make it irrelevant. Of course, Phil, how much more we're going to milk this? I'm trying to ignore it. You guys don't stop. So, yes. Yeah, Bronxer, how are you, my friend? I haven't seen you in chat in a while. The idea that just 2 parties represent 344 million Americans is absurd. True. Absolutely true. Yes, it is absurd, but somehow we're still doing it. It is crazy. Yes. Let's see here. Okay, Mr. Sharpe at Freedom Fest, you speak to Jordan Didloff. He's a LBT Libertarian from Australia's LP. He's returned from Borgfest. Okay, I will look for him. I got a couple of Aussies I have to do. Yes, I have a couple of Aussies I'm gonna jump on. So I will try to grab a couple of those. Ray says, Larry appears to Tucker. I don't have a direct contact to Tucker. I have a lot of contacts, not directly to Tucker. I'm trying to. This week when I'm heading to Freedom Fest, I will know people who know Tucker, and I'll be trying to make the connection to the connection. I'm trying to. I'm hoping it will work. We will try it. So yes. Yes. Daniel knows I know better than to touch the boob party. It must be consensual. It must be consensual. Then it's okay. So yes, that's the issue that we have to worry about. So yes, I will also be meeting Topher Field at Freedom Fest. Also, the other Aussie, that a couple Aussies I've got to grab. So I will grab a couple of them consensually. Guys, I want to ask you again, please click the button known as like if you have not already. Please share this if you haven't already. Please do so. Support the show to the best of your ability at the link tree you see. Click right there if you would. I do appreciate everything you can do. I'm going to ask you. All right. Of the people who've been talking about independent parties, of the people who've been talking about it, Tucker, MTG, Top Massey, who is the one who should be the face of the party? Who should be the face? Who should be the face of the next independent party in America? Who do you think should be the face of that independent party that will give it the best chance to make impact, knowing that it will take years to make impact? Who should be the face of the next independent party, knowing that it will take years to make impact? Guys, I will not be on for the next 4 or 5 days, but there will be content coming up this week. There will be content coming up this week. Absolutely, there will be. And I will be on next Monday, Governor Shack, and then back with the Sharpe Way on next Tuesday. I will see you all